practicing medicine while traveling through Douluo, but a goddess secretly eavesdrops on my inner thoughts. Greetings, fellow multiversal adventurers. It's an honor to have you back in this saga that has us all hooked. Official channel statement: this story is 100% epic fiction. So please don't attempt real magic, the results aren't guaranteed and insurance won't cover it. The rights to this masterpiece belong entirely to its brilliant original author. We are just a barge sharing it with you. Do you want to keep being part of this amazing community? Join our ninja army of subscribers on YouTube and give this content a like. And for true fans, our Patreon has exclusive ninjutsu waiting for you. Chapter 1: Nest Grass. Ah Yin, Tang 3's mother. Ah Yin, you must be tired after a long day's journey, right? How about we take a rest before we continue our journey? Seeing that a Xiang was dripping with sweat, soaking her blue and gold dress, and her dark blue underwear was looming, Tang Hao came to Yin and persuaded with a smile. Second brother is right, Ah Yin, you are sweating profusely. Let's take a rest before we go on our way, right? Tang Xiao also came to Yin and persuaded Yin with a smile. They seemed worried that Ah Yin would be tired, but the brothers' eyes glanced at Ah Yin's chest from time to time at a subtle angle, admiring the beautiful scenery really big. I really want to try it out. No, the villagers are still suffering from the pain caused by the disease. I have to rush over to see them. Ah Yin smiled and waved her hand gently, declining Tang Hao and Tang Xiao's kindness. She pulled a small bag strap on Xuang's shoulder, walked between Tang Hao and Tang Xiao, and continued on her way. Oh, smell good. Just as Ah Yin walked between Tang Hao and Tang Xiao, the brothers Tang Hao and Tang Xiao took a deep breath of the fragrance left by Ah Yin and showed lewd smiles. Ah Yin heard that diseases had broken out in many villages recently. She was kind-hearted and immediately packed her bags and went to the village to treat the villagers. Just 3 days ago, Ah Yin met Tang Hao and Tang Xiao by chance, and received active help from the two brothers. She quickly cured the villagers of a village. She had a very good impression of the brothers. At the brothers' request, Ah Yin took the brothers with him and is now rushing to the next village. Poor Ah Yin was only thinking about rushing to the next village to treat the villagers. She didn't notice the lewd looks and smiles of Tang Hao and Tang Xiao just now. She thought Tang Hao and Tang Xiao were real. He cares about her and is happy about it. Wait for us. Tang Hao and Tang Xiao smiled at each other, and then followed Ah Yin's pace. Behind Ah Yin, they hurried on while admiring Ah Yin's graceful and beautiful figure and smelling Ah Yin's unique fragrance. Emperor Soul Village. According to legend, a soul emperor once appeared here a long time ago, so it was named Emperor Soul Village. Not long ago, a disease that had never been seen before broke out nearby. It was extremely contagious and spread at a rapid speed. Emperor Soul Village was not spared, and everyone in the village was infected. There is no doctor nearby who can treat this disease, and no doctor dares to enter the village to help the villagers treat it. Originally, the villagers of Emperor Soul Village were in despair, but a young man suddenly appeared, claiming to be a traveling doctor, and he also brought medicine that could treat the disease, which rekindled hope among the villagers. Now at the entrance of Wuhun village, the villagers are holding large bowls in their hands, surrounding the doctor who is brewing medicine, waiting for the doctor to prepare the medicine that can treat the diseases that have broken out in the village. Cough cough, the villagers were coughing constantly, looked pale and very weak. Here, drink it all in one go. Xiaoyao poured a bowl of freshly brewed medicine for the old village chief of Emperor Soul Village, and said to the old village chief with a smile, "Mr. Dr. Long, is this really a cough, a potion that can cure our diseases?" Looking at the dark potion and smelling the unpleasant smell, the old village chief asked Xiaoyao worriedly. He was worried that this was not a potion that could cure a disease, but a poison that could kill people. The surrounding villagers also looked at Xiaoyao worriedly, and they also had the same worry. It is said that good medicine tastes bitter and is good for the disease. Don't look at the potion as if it is poison, but it can really cure your disease. Don't worry, I guarantee that the medicine will cure the disease. If you drink this bowl of potion and your disease is not cured, I will let you do whatever you want, Xiaoyao said confidently, his face full of confidence. Okay, cough, Xiaoyao said so the old village chief had no reason not to believe him. Anyway, he was already old, so he was the first one to drink it and be used as a test subject. If it is useful, I would like to thank the doctor very much. If it doesn't work, it won't be too late to let the villagers deal with Xiaoyao. Tons. The old village chief held his nose and drank the water in the bowl as if drinking water. Dang dang. Zhang. Vomit. The potion was too bitter. After drinking it, the old village chief couldn't help but retched. He looked very painful, and the bowl fell to the ground and broke into pieces. You liar, this is obviously poison, cough cough. When the villagers saw this, they all blamed Xiaoyao and looked like they were going to take action. Stop. Don't be rude to Dr. Long. Ugh, this medicine can indeed cure diseases, it's just a little bitter, but I feel completely better now. Yuck. The old village chief immediately stood in front of the villagers and said to them with a painful expression, but he did feel that he was already well, and the color gradually returned to his face. Congratulations to the host for curing a patient infected with influenza and earning 1,000 miracle healing points. At this moment, a mechanical and pleasant voice sounded in Long Xiaoyao's mind. Listening to the voice in his mind, Long Xiaoyao smiled. He was originally a graduate of Blue Star who had just entered the society. 5 years ago, on a dark and stormy night, he somehow traveled to Douluo continent and was bound to a medical god system. As long as you treat illnesses and save people, you can get miracle healing points, which can be exchanged for items to become stronger. I know that Douluo continent is not as simple as it seems, and in the current timeline, Xiao Wu, the heroine, has not yet transformed, and many goddess-level beauties have not yet been born. Long Xiaoyao wanted to be a doctor and travel around the Douluo continent to treat illnesses and save people. After he became invincible, he would go out and capture the goddess. Only children make choices. Long Xiaoyao wants them all. It happened that Long Xiaoyao heard that a disease broke out in this area, and he rushed over immediately. Using the medical skills learned from the god of medicine system, he could tell at a glance that the disease was influenza, and immediately brewed a special medicine. Mr. Dr. Long, I also want some potion, cough, I also want. After discovering that the village chief's illness was indeed cured, the villagers rushed to Long Xiaoyao one by one and asked Long Xiaoyao to give them potion. Don't worry, line up first, come one by one, there will be everything, Long Xiaoyao said with a smile. The villagers lined up obediently, waiting to receive the potion one by one. At this time, the old village chief was retching, but he did not dare to drink water. Because Long Xiaoyao said that he had to wait an hour before drinking water or eating, otherwise the efficacy of the medicine would be affected. But the old village chief was not alone, and soon villagers came to retching with him, forming a beautiful landscaping. Congratulations to the host for curing a patient infected with influenza and earning 1,000 miracle healing points. How is this going? 10 minutes later, the brothers Ah Yin, Tang Hao, and Tang Xiao arrived at the entrance of Emperor Soul Village. They looked at the beautiful scenery at the entrance of the village with question marks on their faces. All these villagers' diseases have been cured. Ah Yin knew a little bit about medical skills. After the experience in the previous village, she saw that the diseases of these villagers were completely cured, and she was very surprised. It took her several days to find a treatment, and it took her several days to cure the villagers in the previous village. And now this area has been called a desert by doctors, so there should be no doctors coming in. Tang Hao and Tang Xiao were also shocked when they heard Ah Yin's words. Is it him? Seeing that Long Xiaoyao was still distributing medicine to the last villager, Ah Yin rushed over immediately. I want to see which kind-hearted and capable doctor cured the villagers' diseases. Brothers Tang Hao and Tang Xiao both followed Ah Yin's footsteps. It happened that Long Xiaoyao had distributed medicine to the last villager at this time. He noticed that brothers Ah Yin and Tang Hao and Tang Xiao walking towards him, and he looked at the three of them. What a beautiful woman! Long Xiaoyao's eyes were immediately attracted by Ah Yin. The blue gold dress covered Ah Yin's whole body, perfectly showing off her curvy figure. Her luxurious and elegant temperament sets off her extraordinary beauty, and her azure eyes are as flawless as sapphire crystal. Golden ribbons were raised around the hem of the skirt, dancing with Ah Yin's slender steps. There was a blue bag slung around her waist, which looked noble and sacred. Long Xiaoyao was sure that this was the most beautiful beauty he had encountered in the 5 years he had traveled through Douluo continent. It is no exaggeration to say that this woman is a fairy. So much so that they directly ignored the Tang Hao and Tang Xiao brothers behind this woman. What a handsome man! This is the common thought of Ah Yin, Tang Hao, and Tang Xiao at this moment. Long Xiaoyao is 1.8 meters tall, wearing a white cloud-embroidered robe, handsome, with extraordinary temperament. Especially Long Xiaoyao's temperament, like a banished immortal, gives people the feeling that this person should be in heaven. Moreover, Ah Yin still felt a familiar feeling on Long Xiaoyao's body, and she wanted to get close to Long Xiaoyao, which made her a little confused. The girl is so beautiful. My name is Long Xiaoyao and I am a doctor. I wonder if the girl can tell me your name. Long Xiaoyao didn't mince words. He came directly in front of Ah Yin, smiled and asked Ah Yin, holding his hand in front of Ah Yin, with a graceful and elegant demeanor. Ah Yin, be careful, this guy has bad intentions. Who are you? What do you want to do to Ah Yin? Before Ah Yin could answer Long Xiaoyao's question, brothers Tang Hao and Tang Xiao rushed to Ah Yin and stared at Long Xiaoyao warily. Ah Yin is what the two brothers like. They don't allow other men to get close to Ah Yin, especially men who are much more handsome than them. Wakao, Ah Yin, Tang San's mother. Long Xiaoyao was shocked. Who is speaking? Weed? Tang San's mother? Ah Yin was confused when he heard the sudden voice in his head. Chapter 2 is such a bigoted and brainless idiot. Is nest grass a plant? Why, never heard of it. I don't have a boyfriend yet, how can I say I am Tang San's mother? Ah Yin looked around, trying to find who was speaking words she had never heard in her mind just now. This kind of breath, Blue Silver Emperor, it's Ah Yin. That's right, I didn't expect Ah Yin to be so beautiful. After carefully examining Ah Yin, Long Xiaoyao discovered that Ah Yin's true form was the Blue Silver Emperor and confirmed Ah Yin's identity, but he did not expect Ah Yin to be so beautiful. Ah! You can see my true identity. It's Contra. Ah Yin heard that the owner of the voice in her mind actually recognized it. She panicked, mobilized her soul power, prepared for battle, and looked around nervously, looking for the owner of the voice to prevent a sneak attack. She knew that for that Contra, she was a rare 10-year-old soul ring, and it also came with a 10-year-old soul bone. She knew that since that Contra saw that she was the Blue Silver Emperor, he would definitely not let her go. Did I hallucinate? But after checking around, she still didn't find Contra, so she thought she was hallucinating. It must be caused by not sleeping well for several days. You brat, I asked you why you keep staring at Ah Yin, didn't you hear me? Tang Hao burst into intimidation and questioned Long Xiaoyao angrily, looking like a righteous and protective messenger. Tell me, are you attracted to Ah Yin's beauty? Are you planning to do evil to Ah Yin? Tang Xiao also burst out with momentum and questioned Long Xiaoyao, also looking like a gentleman. Who knows the reputation of these two brothers? When the two brothers saw that Long Xiaoyao heard Ah Yin announce their names and heard their questions, instead of ignoring them, they kept staring at Ah Yin, which immediately made them feel very unhappy. Moreover, Ah Yin is what they like, and they do not allow other men to stare directly at Ah Yin, especially men who are more handsome than them. They saw that Long Xiaoyao didn't have the mark of a soul master and looked like a handsome ordinary doctor. He would definitely not be able to stop their momentum. So they planned to use their momentum to force Long Xiaoyao to admit that he wanted to do evil to Yin, and then they would drive Long Xiaoyao away directly. In this way, they can not only drive away Long Xiaoyao, but also serve as Ah Yin's flower protector, allowing Ah Yin to increase his favor with them and better implement their plan, killing two birds with one stone. Tang Hao, Tang Xiao, Mr. Long has no ill intentions towards me. Don't do this, Ah Yin quickly advised Tang Hao and Tang Xiao. She saw that Long Xiaoyao was humble and polite, and she could feel that Long Xiaoyao just wanted to know her name and had no ill intentions towards her. Moreover, Long Xiaoyao also cured the villagers' diseases. She knew that Long Xiaoyao was a good person, and she was worried that Tang Hao and Tang Xiao would impulsively beat Long Xiaoyao. Brothers Tang Hao and Tang Xiao are tall and powerful, and they are also powerful soul saints. Although Long Xiaoyao is very handsome, Ah Yin cannot tell Long Xiaoyao's level. They thought Long Xiaoyao was just a powerless doctor, and were worried that Long Xiaoyao would be punched to death by the brothers. Ah Yin was very happy that Tang Hao and Tang Xiao had only known her for a few days, but they actually cared about her so much. Sure enough, there are still many good human soul masters. After hearing Ah Yin's words, Tang Hao and Tang Xiao didn't say anything more, they just stared at Long Xiaoyao unhappily. Mr. Long, my name is Ah Yin, and these two are my friends, Tang Hao and Tang Xiao. They just care about me. They don't mean any harm. Please don't mind me. Ah Yin smiled and apologized to Long Xiaoyao, not forgetting to comfort Long Xiaoyao. It turns out to be Miss Ah Yin. Nice to meet you. Long Xiaoyao smiled and cupped his hands at Ah Yin. Two sanctimonious hypocrites want to use their momentum to force me to admit that they have plotted against Ah Yin, so that they can take the opportunity to drive me away. At the same time, you can also be a flower protector. If you want to gain Ah Yin's trust, You can plan to have Ah Yin sacrifice for you in the future. It's really disgusting. Ugh. Long Xiaoyao looked at Tang Hao and Tang Xiao brothers with disdain. He clearly sensed the momentum of Tang Hao and Tang Xiao just now. If he hadn't been stronger than the brothers would have succeeded in their conspiracy. When he was reading the original work, he guessed that Tang Hao and Tang Xiao should have known that Ah Yin was the 10-year-old blue-silver emperor. Because the two brothers are the two most talented disciples of the Haoshan sect, they are called the Haoshan Devil Star by the world. Now one is a level 75 soul saint, and the other is a level 76 soul saint. Tang Hao had already broken through the killing land and obtained the killing god realm. Wouldn't they be able to see that Ah Yin, who has not yet reached maturity, is the blue-silver emperor? Will not. They must have seen that Ah Yin's true form is the blue-silver emperor. He clearly pretended not to know that Ah Yin was the incarnation of the blue-silver emperor, and took advantage of Ah Yin's kindness to get close to Ah Yin and gain his trust. Then let Ah Yin fall in love with one of them, and later designed to make Ah Yin willingly sacrifice for that person. Otherwise, why would Tang Hao later take Ah Yin back to Haoshan sect even though he knew Ah Yin's identity and was already known by Wuhun Palace? And later, just when Ah Yin gave birth to Tang Sen, and Tang Hao reached level, they were besieged by the Wuhun Palace, and Ah Yin was forced to sacrifice on his own initiative? Is there such a coincidence? It's only in movies and TV series, right? After Long Xiaoyao was forced by Tang Hao and Tang Xiao's momentum just now, he was now more certain of his guess. Could it be Mr. Long who is speaking? Ah Yin looked at Long Xiaoyao and finally realized that the voice in her head seemed to be Long Xiaoyao's heartfelt voice, and was extremely shocked. Why can I hear Mr. Long's voice? Why can Mr. Long see my true form? He looks like just an ordinary person, right? Just a little handsome. No, very handsome. Why did Mr. Long say that Tang Hao and Tang Xiao were hypocrites? Also said that Tang Hao and Tang Xiao just used their momentum to force him. But Tang Hao and Tang Xiao did use their momentum to suppress Mr. Long just now. Are Tang Hao and Tang Xiao really what young Master Long said? You have long since seen that I am the 10-year-old blue-silver emperor, and you want to make me sacrifice? At this moment, Ah Yin had many questions in her mind. The more she thought about it, the more scared she became. If Long Xiaoyao's voice is true, then her current situation is very dangerous. Not only was he being targeted by Tang Hao and Tang Xiao, but he was also most likely being targeted by Long Xiaoyao. Tang Hao and Tang Xiao were okay. Ah Yin knew that the two brothers were just soul saints. If she wanted to escape, she could escape. But Ah Yin guessed that Long Xiaoyao was probably a Contra, or even a titled Douluo. Now she couldn't escape from Long Xiaoyao's hands, but Ah Yin is really a big-hearted and brainless idiot. He was about to be sold by Tang Hao and Tang Xiao, and he would be tricked into giving birth to a child for them in the future, and he offered to sacrifice himself, and now he was still saying good things to the two brothers. Long Xiaoyao looked at Ah Yin's murderous weapon again, and felt very sorry for Ah Yin's future experience. Big boobs. Silly grass. Just when Ah Yin was at a loss, she heard Long Xiaoyao scolding her. Although she was gentle and kind, she was so angry that she gritted her teeth when Long Xiaoyao scolded her like this. At the same time, he subconsciously covered his chest. Forget it, the doctor is kind-hearted. Since I have met them, I will let Tang Hao and Tang Xiao reveal their true colors, let this idiot know how hypocritical the two brothers are, and save this idiot from a tragic fate. Long Xiaoyao couldn't bear the gentle and kind-hearted Ah Yin to be used by Tang Hao and Tang Xiao, and planned to help Ah Yin. Give Ah Yin a warm and safe home. Mr. Long wants to help me. Ah Yin was very shocked. She did not expect that Long Xiaoyao not only did not hunt her, but also planned to help her. Logically speaking, this was impossible. I wonder what Miss Ah Yin means when she comes here. Long Xiaoyao smiled and asked Ah Yin knowingly. He could guess that Ah Yin came here to treat villagers suffering from influenza, because he smelled the smell of various medicinal herbs in Ah Yin's packet. I came here to treat the villagers, but I didn't expect that young Master Long had already cured the villagers. Ah Yin responded cooperatively. Since she couldn't escape from Long Xiaoyao's hands, she wanted to see what medicine Long Xiaoyao sold in his gourd. Excuse me, what medicinal materials did Mr. Long use? The villagers just drank it, and they were cured in a short while? Ah Yin asked curiously, his eyes full of curiosity. She noticed that the villagers were cured within a short time of drinking the potion, and she was really curious about this. She didn't know about the medicinal materials with such good effects. If she knew, She could make the villagers infected with a disease suffer less and treat more villagers in a short time. Chapter 3: The Shameless Tang Rishan Brothers. Actually, the herbs I use are very common. I'm sure Miss Ah Yin knows them all. It just needs to be selected and matched, and then cooked according to a certain ratio and a specific brewing method to brew the potion with the best efficacy, Long Xiaoyao replied with a smile. Oh. I wonder if Mr. Long can tell me in detail. I want to learn and quickly treat the diseases of villagers in other villages, so as to relieve the pain of other villagers in this area as soon as possible, Ah Yin begged Long Xiaoyao in a pleading tone. Mr. Doctor, thank you very much for coming to our Emperor's Soul village in person and curing the diseases of all the people in our village. These are some of our thoughts, please don't dislike them. At this moment, the old village chief came to Long Xiaoyao, said to Long Xiaoyao respectfully, and then handed Long Xiaoyao a bulging bag. Thank you, old village chief. You'll be welcome. Long Xiaoyao accepted the bag unceremoniously and waited, estimating that it contained about 1,500 copper soul coins. It happened that 150 villagers in Emperor's Soul village were infected with the flu, and each received 10 copper soul coins. Then Long Xiaoyao directly put the bag into the space ring obtained from the system. What a greedy and lustful villain. He treats the villagers and still charges money? Can't you see that the villagers are so poor that they can't even afford new clothes? Aren't you taking advantage of the fire? Seeing that Long Xiaoyao accepted the bag without hesitation, Tang Hao pointed at the old clothes on the villagers with a righteous look. That's right. The Ah Yin people are much better. They treated the villagers without receiving a single soul coin. Tang Xiao followed suit and flattered Ah Yin. The two brothers sang together just to let Ah Yin know how snobbish and ugly Long Xiaoyao's heart was, and to make Ah Yin hate Long Xiaoyao. Two soul masters, what you said is wrong, Mr. Dr. Long was able to come here in person, provide the medicinal materials himself, and personally brew the potion for us for 3 hours to cure our disease. It is only natural that we give him the soul coins. Furthermore, Dr. Long knows that we are poor, so he only charges us 10 copper soul coins each. If other doctors would charge us a gold soul coin each, let alone treating diseases, we wouldn't even look down on them. So Dr. Long has been very kind to us and is the benefactor of our Emperor's Soul village. We do not allow you to slander Dr. Long like this. You must apologize to Dr. Long. As soon as brothers Tang Hao and Tang Xiao finished speaking, the old village chief immediately stood up and said angrily. The old village chief is right. Dr. Long is the benefactor of our Emperor's Soul village. You cannot slander Dr. Long. You must apologize to Dr. Long. The villagers also shouted at brothers Tang Hao and Tang Xiao. A few children even wanted to pick up stones and throw them at the brothers, but they were stopped by the adults. Because they could tell right away that Tang Hao and Tang Xiao were powerful soul masters, and their little Emperor's Soul village couldn't afford to offend them. After hearing what the villagers said and seeing the villagers supporting Long Xiaoyao so much, Ah Yin felt that Long Xiaoyao should be a good person, and her favorability towards Long Xiaoyao increased a bit. However, this also made Tang Hao and Tang Xiao extremely embarrassed. They did not expect that Long Xiaoyao was actually a kind and good doctor, and the villagers were also people who repaid their kindness. Congratulations to the owner for receiving the grateful support of 150 villagers and receiving a purple spirit cloud hairpin. The evildoer failed to complain first, and then he showed his original shape. Seeing this scene and hearing about the new reward, Long Xiaoyao looked at Tang Hao and Tang Xiao with gloating. He really wanted to see the two brothers reveal their true colors. The bad guys complain first. Are Tang Hao and Tang Xiao really lying to me? Thinking of what Tang Hao and Tang Xiao said just now, hearing the villagers' words, and Long Xiaoyao's voice, Ah Yin looked at Tang Hao and Tang Xiao with questioning eyes. She now had some suspicions that Tang Hao and Tang Xiao were lying to her as Long Xiaoyao said. Tang Hao and Tang Xiao saw Ah Yin looking at them with suspicion. They thought Ah Yin had discovered that they were villains, and were worried that Ah Yin would not believe them in the future and the plan would not be realized, so they immediately panicked. Got up. Brother Long, I'm really sorry. It was us brothers who misunderstood you. Please don't mind, we are just worried that the villagers will be robbed by people with evil intentions. Then their lives will become very difficult in the future. Tang Xiao quickly showed a smile and said to Long Xiaoyao with a smile. After speaking, he glanced at Ah Yin. Brother is right. We are just worried that the villagers will be robbed by people with evil intentions. Please don't be angry, Brother Long. Tang Hao also smiled and said, and glanced at Ah Yin after speaking. It looked like Tang Hao and Tang Xiao were apologizing to Long Xiaoyao again and asking for Long Xiaoyao's forgiveness. In fact, they were acting it out to Ah Yin in order to make Ah Yin think that they were just people. Long Xiaoyao didn't forgive them, and they didn't care. After hearing what Tang Hao and Tang Xiao said, and seeing the brothers' sincere apology, Ah Yin smiled and nodded. She felt that Long Xiaoyao's thoughts were wrong. Tang Hao and Tang Xiao were two good people. Tang Hao and Tang Xiao noticed Ah Yin's expression and movements. Knowing that their goal was achieved, the corners of their mouths raised slightly. Could it be that Long Xiaoyao is contra? The two brothers looked at Long Xiaoyao again. They now seriously suspected that Long Xiaoyao was contra. Otherwise, how could Long Xiaoyao be unafraid of the momentum they unleashed? Could it be that Long Xiaoyao's purpose is the same as ours? Since Long Xiaoyao is contra, the brothers guessed that Long Xiaoyao must have seen Ah Yin's true identity. They speculated that Long Xiaoyao disguised himself as a kind-hearted doctor with the same purpose as theirs, to get close to Ah Yin, deceive Ah Yin's trust, and later plan to have Ah Yin sacrifice himself. After all, as long as a human soul master encounters a 10-year-old soul beast that has not yet reached maturity, he will not let it go. Thinking of this, the two brothers secretly clenched their fists. They would not let Ah Yin fall into Long Xiaoyao's hands, because they were interested in Ah Yin first. Even though Long Xiaoyao is contra, the brothers are not afraid at all. Because they are the Haotian Devil Stars who are famous throughout the Soul Master world. As long as Long Xiaoyao is not a titled Douluo, the two brothers are sure to beat Long Xiaoyao, as expected of the Tang Rishan brothers. So thick-skinned, Ah Yin is really a fool. If you can't even see such an obvious performance, no wonder you are fooled by Tang Hao and Tang Xiao. Ah Yin didn't notice the small movements of Tang Hao and Tang Xiao, but Long Xiaoyao clearly noticed them. Scolding me again. Ah Yin was a little angry. Tang Rishan brothers? Mr. Long is probably talking about Tang Hao and Tang Xiao. But it doesn't look like Tang Hao and Tang Xiao are acting. Ah Yin looked at Tang Hao and Tang Xiao. She felt that Tang Hao and Tang Xiao apologized very sincerely, and it didn't look like acting at all. Although Ah Yin looks very mature, she is new to the world and rarely interacts with people. Plus she is kind-hearted, so it is normal for her not to know that Tang Hao and Tang Xiao are acting. Since you like acting, I want to see how long you can act. Sooner or later I will show you your true colors. Long Xiaoyao vowed to force out the true colors of Tang Hao and Tang Xiao. Ah Yin stared at Tang Hao and Tang Xiao, wanting to see if Tang Hao and Tang Xiao were really acting. It's okay, it's all for the villagers. I accept your apology, Long Xiaoyao said to Tang Hao and Tang Xiao grandly. Thank you Brother Long. Tang Hao and Tang Xiao breathed a sigh of relief. However, if Ah Yin hadn't been here, they would have given Long Xiaoyao and the villagers a harsh lesson. They wanted Long Xiaoyao to know the consequences of trying to snatch a 10-year-old soul beast from them, and let the villagers know the consequences of embarrassing them. At the same time, the two brothers were thinking about how to make Long Xiaoyao reveal his purpose of getting close to Yin in front of Ah Yin. In this way, they can justifiably drive away Long Xiaoyao, and they can also take the opportunity to protect Ah Yin and increase Ah Yin's favor towards them, killing three birds with one stone. Doesn't it sound like acting? Ah Yin saw that Tang Hao and Tang Xiao's attitudes were very sincere, not like they were acting at all. Miss Ah Yin, I have to rush to the next village to treat the villagers. Can you go with me? I prepare the medicinal ingredients by myself, and the speed of brewing the potion is too slow. If I can get your help, we will definitely be able to brew the potion faster. On the contrary, I can tell you how to mix the medicinal materials and brew the potion that can cure the villagers' diseases, and I can share half of the reward with you. How about it? Long Xiaoyao stopped paying attention to Tang Hao and Tang Xiao, and asked Ah Yin with a smile. He believed that the kind Ah Yin would definitely agree. And if Tang Hao and Tang Xiao are really as he guessed, then Tang Hao and Tang Xiao will definitely show their true colors sooner or later. Because he has thought of at least 50 ways to make the Tang Rishan brothers show their true colors. What Long Xiaoyao didn't know was that Tang Hao and Tang Xiao were trying to find a way to make him reveal his true form. Chapter 4 Little Hornet, Arrogant Tang Hao and Tang Xiao. Don't agree. Tang Hao and Tang Xiao wanted very much to persuade Ah Yin not to agree, but they couldn't say it out loud. Because they know that Ah Yin is kind-hearted, if they try to persuade Ah Yin, they will only make Ah Yin feel that they are not good people and stay away from them. Then their plan would not be realized and Long Xiaoyao would be advantaged. Okay, but I don't want the reward. I just want young Master Long to tell me how to mix the medicinal materials and how to brew a potion that can cure the villagers' diseases. Ah Yin smiled and replied, although she knew that Long Xiaoyao was most likely a Contra, or even a titled Douluo. But she couldn't feel any hostility from Long Xiaoyao. On the contrary, there seemed to be some kindness. She felt that Long Xiaoyao would not harm her. In addition, the purpose of Ah Yin's trip is to help the villagers treat their illnesses, and following Long Xiaoyao can help the villagers better treat their illnesses. Moreover, Ah Yin also wanted to see if Tang Hao and Tang Xiao were really approaching her just to take advantage of her, as Long Xiaoyao said. She wanted to see how Long Xiaoyao would make the Tang Hao brothers show their true colors, so she agreed directly. Ah Yin, Brother Long, we brothers will also go with you. We also want to quickly help the villagers solve the pain caused by the disease, and we can help you. Tang Hao quickly came to Yin with a righteous look. That's right, although we brothers don't know much about medical skills, we are strong and can help Brother Yin and Brother Long do some rough work. Tang Xiao also came to Yin, looking very concerned about the villagers. Tang Hao smiled at Ah Yin. Besides, you are a girl. It is too dangerous for you and Dr. Long to act alone. We brothers will follow you and we can also provide you with protection. Tang Xiao patted his chest and smiled. My brother is right. Your safety is left to us two brothers alone. Brothers Tang Hao and Tang Xiao both said the word we very lightly, and they basically didn't look at Long Xiaoyao from the beginning to the end. Because they don't care about Long Xiaoyao and the villagers. They just didn't want Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin to act alone. The most important thing is that they don't want to be separated from Ah Yin, and they also want to improve Ah Yin's favorability towards them so that they can implement their plan. Ah Yin looked at the two brothers who were extremely sincere, just and kind-hearted, and felt that the brothers were good people, so she smiled and nodded. You are really good at acting. I want to see how long you can continue to act. Long Xiaoyao smiled, knowing that Tang Hao and Tang Xiao would definitely ask to follow him in Ah Yin acting. Hearing Long Xiaoyao's inner voice, Ah Yin looked at Tang Hao and Tang Xiao with confusion, but he still couldn't tell that the brothers were acting. Okay, it just so happens that there are a lot of rough jobs that need your help. It's great that you are willing to take the initiative to help. Long Xiaoyao showed an evil smile. It's not too late, let's go now. Immediately afterwards, Long Xiaoyao walked towards the outside of the village. Without saying a word, Ah Yin immediately followed Long Xiaoyao's footsteps. She thought that she would quickly follow Long Xiaoyao to the next village and treat the villagers with Long Xiaoyao. Wait a minute, Ah Yin, Brother Long, how about we take a rest first? We have only traveled 10 kilometers, and Ah Yin didn't rest for a moment. She is very tired now. Tang Hao immediately rushed to Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin and persuaded Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin. Yes, it's about 10 kilometers away from the next village. Ah Yin needs to take a good rest first. Otherwise, if he is tired, even if he rushes to the next village, he will not be able to treat the villagers well. Tang Xiao also rushed to Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin and persuaded them earnestly. Before Ah Yin transformed, he was just a grass that could not move. After traveling for so long, I am indeed a little tired. Ah Yin looked at the two brothers, feeling their care, and smiled sweetly, feeling very heartwarming. What Ah Yin didn't notice was that both Tang Hao and Tang Xiao were glancing at her chest from a subtle angle, looking at the beautiful scenery through her sweat-soaked clothes. You are really good at acting, no wonder you can trick Ah Yin around. Ah Yin didn't notice the eyes of the two brothers, but Long Xiaoyao did. If he hadn't noticed the looks in Tang Hao and Tang Xiao's eyes, Long Xiaoyao would have thought that Tang Hao and Tang Xiao cared about Ah Yin. Too good at acting? Hearing Long Xiaoyao's thoughts, Ah Yin looked at Tang Hao and Tang Xiao again, but still couldn't tell that Tang Hao and Tang Xiao were acting. However, this also made Tang Hao and Tang Xiao dare not continue and quietly glanced at the beautiful scenery on Ah Yin's chest. No need, because we are not walking there next. Long Xiaoyao showed a mysterious smile. Then how did we get there? Ah Yin, Tang Hao and Tang Xiao all had question marks on their faces. Take the car there. By car, Ah Yin, Tang Hao and Tang Xiao were confused because they didn't see the carriage nearby. Boom. As soon as he finished speaking, Long Xiaoyao directly took out a yellow electric convertible sports car from the space ring. This is the reward Long Xiaoyao received 5 years ago. He is an intelligent robot out of it. Listen to Long Xiaoyao's words and use it as long as it is charged. As a means of transportation, Long Xiaoyao still particularly likes it. Long Xiaoyao also specially named it, Little Hornet. In order to let Tang Hao and Tang Xiao show their true colors, Long Xiaoyao asked Little Hornet to put away the back seats before calling Little Hornet out, leaving only the driver's seat and the passenger seat. In this way, Long Xiaoyao could drive Ah Yin alone, in order to close the distance with Ah Yin, win Ah Yin's favor, arouse the jealousy of Tang Hao and Tang Xiao, make them unable to sit still, and then reveal their true colors. So beautiful, Mr. Long, what kind of car is this? Seeing the sudden appearance of the yellow electric convertible sports car, Ah Yin's eyes suddenly lit up. He was deeply attracted, and he was very curious about this sports car. Wow! So handsome. The villagers, brothers Tang Hao and Tang Xiao, looked at the yellow electric convertible sports car. Their eyes lit up at the first moment and they were deeply attracted. This is a sports car called the Hornet. Next we will take it and head to the next village, Long Xiaoyao introduced with a smile. Sports car? Little Wasp? Take it to the next village? Everyone had question marks on their faces when they heard Long Xiaoyao's words. They have seen rickshaws, horse-drawn carriages, and soul beast cars, but they have never seen or heard of sports cars. Haha. It's just a piece of yellow iron with 4 wheels attached to it. It doesn't even have horses to pull the cart. What's the use of it? Tang Hao laughed. That's right, can this strange car still run on its own? Tang Xiao also said in a strange tone. As double stars in the sky, the two brothers had never seen a sports car, and had never heard of a car that could run on its own. Therefore, they felt that Long Xiaoyao was most likely talking nonsense just to attract Ah Yin's attention and win Ah Yin's favor. They said this just to unmask Long Xiaoyao and make Ah Yin less fond of Long Xiaoyao. Ah Yin and the villagers also looked at Long Xiaoyao suspiciously. Yes, the little wasp can run on its own. Long Xiaoyao smiled and nodded, his face full of confidence. Can you run by yourself? Ah Yin heard Long Xiaoyao's words and looked at Little Hornet in surprise. Her sixth sense told her that Long Xiaoyao was not lying. She was very curious about how the little wasp could run on its own. Ha ha ha. Brother Long, are you dreaming? How could this cart move on its own without a horse to pull it? Tang Hao and Tang Xiao burst out laughing, as if they had heard a big joke. Two guys who have never seen the world. The little hornet can not only run on its own, but also fly. Long Xiaoyao looked at the two laughing brothers silently without explaining anything. Can the little wasp still fly? Hearing Long Xiaoyao's thoughts, Ah Yin opened her mouth wide and looked at the little hornet in shock. She was very curious about how the little hornet could fly. Brother Long, since you said this car can move on its own, why don't you let us see it move on its own? That's it, let's open our eyes. Ha ha ha. After laughing their fill, the two brothers urged Long Xiaoyao that they were ready to see Long Xiaoyao get into trouble. Chapter 5. We brothers haven't gotten in the car yet. Okay, Long Xiaoyao smiled and nodded. Haha, Tang Hao and Tang Xiao sneered, completely unaware of the seriousness of the problem. Ah Yin and the villagers all looked at Long Xiaoyao, wanting to see how Long Xiaoyao would make the little hornet move on its own. Under everyone's gaze, Long Xiaoyao walked to the passenger door and opened it. Miss Ah Yin, please get in the car and sit down. I will take you to the next village. Long Xiaoyao smiled and made a gesture of invitation to Ah Yin. Okay, seeing that Long Xiaoyao was an extremely gentleman and wanted to experience it for himself, Ah Yin chose to believe Long Xiaoyao and walked directly in front of Long Xiaoyao and walked into the passenger seat. What a delicious body fragrance, but why does it smell salty? When Ah Yin came to Long Xiaoyao smelled Ah Yin's unique body fragrance, but it was also mixed with salty smell, which surprised him. Salty D. Ah Yin stopped and was very angry. This was the first time a man told her that her body odor was salty. She takes a shower every day. What Long Xiaoyao said was an insult to her and made her very angry. It must be caused by sweating a lot after traveling all the way to treat the villagers quickly. What a gentle, kind, and informal good girl. Whoever can marry Ah Yin must have been blessed in his previous life. Long Xiaoyao quickly guessed why Ah Yin's body fragrance smelled salty, and he admired Ah Yin even more. Snort. Count you acquainted. Hey. Hearing Long Xiaoyao's compliment, especially the last sentence, Ah Yin was no longer angry with Long Xiaoyao. There was a blush on her pretty face, she showed a sweet smile, and continued to walk into the passenger seat. I sat down in my seat all of a sudden. So soft. So comfortable. The seat of Little Wasp was very soft and comfortable. As soon as Ah Yin sat on it, her butt and back felt very comfortable. The fatigue from the constant rush dissipated a lot, and she showed a happy smile. Long Xiaoyao closed the car door for Ah Yin, then walked to the driver's door, opened the door, sat in the driver's seat, closed the door, and pressed the start switch. Hoo. The engine of the little hornet started up, making a roaring sound, and vibrations spread throughout the entire body. Wow! It's moving. Feeling the vibration transmitted to the body through the car body, Ah Yin was very surprised and thought that the little hornet was moving. So comfortable. Ah Yin felt as if her butt and Jade back were enjoying a massage, and she felt even more comfortable. What's the situation? Tang Hao, Tang Xiao, and the villagers were all startled when they heard the sudden sound of the hornet's engine. Miss Ah Yin, please fasten your seat belt, Long Xiaoyao reminded Ah Yin with a smile. Fasten your seatbelt. Ah Yin was a little confused. Tang Hao, Tang Xiao and the villagers also looked confused. This is it. Long Xiaoyao fastened his seatbelt and gave Ah Yin a demonstration. Oh, I see. Seeing Long Xiaoyao's demonstration, Ah Yin also found her seatbelt and successfully fastened it. Well, Miss Ah Yin is so smart, she can do it at a glance. Seeing that Ah Yin learned it so quickly, Long Xiaoyao nodded and praised. After being praised by Long Xiaoyao, Ah Yin showed a happy smile. Brother Long, you should hurry up and make the little hornet move. That's right, let's open our eyes, Tang Hao and Tang Xiao urged. They saw that the distance between Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin suddenly became much closer. Ah Yin seemed to have a lot of affection for Long Xiaoyao, and they felt very unhappy. So the two brothers urged Long Xiaoyao in order to let Ah Yin quickly see Long Xiaoyao in trouble. They felt that Long Xiaoyao was bluffing. There was no way the little hornet could move without a horse. What's the rush? I'll open your eyes right away. Long Xiaoyao showed a slightly evil smile. Miss Ah Yin, I'm going to drive. The little hornet is very fast, so you have to be mentally prepared. Then, Long Xiaoyao reminded Ah Yin with a smile. It is good. Ah Yin nodded, grasped the seat cushion tightly with her jade hands, and pushed her butt into the seat. She was both excited and nervous now. Because she remembered that Long Xiaoyao had just said that the little wasp could fly, but she had never flown before. Miss Ah Yin, don't be too nervous. My driving skills are very good. Seeing Ah Yin's nervous movements, Long Xiaoyao smiled. Buzz. Next, Long Xiaoyao performed a smooth operation, and the little hornet quickly started to move. Wow! It's really moving. Seeing herself moving with the little wasp, Ah Yin felt very novel and smiled very excitedly. She looked like a young girl who had just been exposed to new things, and she looked very cute. Are you really moving on your own? When Tang Hao and Tang Xiao looked at the moving little wasp, their jaws dropped and their eyes were so wide that they were about to fall out. The villagers were also extremely shocked, and each of them showed curious eyes. Immediately afterwards, Long Xiaoyao drove Little Hornet around the entrance of Emperor Soul Village and came to Tang Hao and Tang Xiao again. How is it? Do you believe it now? Long Xiaoyao deliberately showed a proud smile and asked Tang Hao and Tang Xiao. After hearing Long Xiaoyao's words, the brothers remembered their previous words that mocked Long Xiaoyao, and felt their faces hurt. Tang Hao and Tang Xiao gritted their teeth, unwilling but forced to nod, showing expressions as if they had eaten a big bowl of xiang. They never expected that the little hornet could actually move on its own. They now regretted what they just said to Long Xiaoyao. Originally, they were planning to make Ah Yin reduce their favorability towards Long Xiaoyao, but now it seems like they are just shooting themselves in the foot. Ha. Seeing the extremely exciting expressions of the two brothers, Long Xiaoyao showed a very happy smile and burst into laughter. Ah Yin sat in the passenger seat and curiously looked back and forth at Little Hornet. She was curious about why a Little Hornet was so fast and so steady just now. And she still remembers Long Xiaoyao saying that the little wasp can fly. She was very curious about how the little wasp could fly. Tang Hao and Tang Xiao became even more unhappy when they saw Long Xiaoyao laughing. They clenched their fists and wanted to beat Long Xiaoyao violently. But because Ah Yin was here, they still held back. Okay, let's set off immediately, Long Xiaoyao said, then he stepped on the accelerator and drove the little hornet towards the next village. Thank you, Dr. Long. Goodbye, Dr. Long. The villagers in Emperor Soul Village waved goodbye to Long Xiaoyao. Looking at the little hornet drifting away, Tang Hao and Tang Xiao had question marks on their faces. We didn't get on the bus. We brothers haven't gotten in the car yet, Tang Hao and Tang Xiao shouted anxiously while chasing the little hornet. I'm really sorry, there are only 2 seats in Little Hornet, And it can only accommodate 2 people. I need to drive, so there's only 1 seat left, so I can only carry 1 person. You 2 brothers are so concerned about Miss Yin and are worried that Miss Yin is tired, so you shouldn't be competing for seats with Miss Yin, right? Time is urgent now, so Miss Yin and I will go ahead and treat the villagers in the next village. You 2 brothers, please come here slowly. Long Xiaoyao stuck his head out and shouted to Tang Hao, and Tang Xiao with a smile call out. Then Long Xiaoyao directly stepped on the accelerator, speeding up the little hornet, and the distance between him and Tang Hao and Tang Xiao became farther and farther. No, that guy wants to get rid of us and have Ah Yin all to himself. Seeing that Long Xiaoyao was unwilling to take the 2 brothers, and also accelerated suddenly, Tang Hao felt that Long Xiaoyao was planning to get rid of them, and planned to be alone with Ah Yin, to gain Ah Yin's trust, and to plan a plan to have Ah Yin sacrifice him in the future. Feeling nervous and angry. Second brother is right. We can't let that kid run away. Ah Yin belongs to us. Let's chase him quickly. Tang Xiao nodded, he thought so too. Boom, boom. Then Tang Hao and Tang Xiao mobilized their soul power at the same time, exploded with momentum, and chased the little hornet at full speed. Chapter 6 Flying. What a fast speed. Ah Yin sat in the passenger seat, looking at the fleeting scenery outside the car, extremely shocked and extremely excited. This was her first time riding in a sports car. She didn't expect that the speed of a sports car could be so fast, even comparable to the speed of some 1,000-year-old soul beasts that could fly. And it's so stable. So comfortable. Finally, I got rid of the Tang Rishan brothers for the time being and was able to be alone with Ah Yin. Long Xiaoyao drove the little hornet and smiled happily when he saw Ah Yin's excited look. Because I can finally stop looking at the hypocritical faces of Tang Hao and Tang Xiao and take Ah Yin for a joyful ride. Be alone with me? What does young Master Long want to do? Could it be that Mr. Long wants to take action against me? Ah Yin felt that Long Xiaoyao was definitely a Contra, or even a title Douluo. Although Ah Yin was very excited now, when she heard Long Xiaoyao's thoughts and looked at Long Xiaoyao's smile, she thought that Long Xiaoyao was planning to get rid of Tang Hao and Tang Xiao, then kill her and absorb the 10-year soul ring and soul bone. Ah Yin suddenly became nervous and worried, and had no intention of admiring the scenery outside the car. She knew that after all, to Long Xiaoyao, she was a rare treasure with a 10-year-old soul ring and a 10-year-old soul bone. Don't worry, Miss Yin. My driving skills are very good. No matter how fast I am, I won't overturn my car. Seeing Ah Yin panicking, Long Xiaoyao thought Ah Yin was frightened by the speed of the little hornet, so he showed an extremely confident smile and comforted Ah Yin. Could it be that I misunderstood Mr. Long? Ah Yin heard Long Xiaoyao's words and looked at Long Xiaoyao's smile. She felt that Long Xiaoyao had no malice towards her and was very kind, which made her feel that she had misunderstood Long Xiaoyao. Ah Yin couldn't help but nodded. Her intuition told her that Long Xiaoyao was trustworthy. Unexpectedly, the Tang Rishan brothers could actually keep up with the speed of Little Hornet. They are worthy of the Haoshan Devil Stars. Long Xiaoyao was a little surprised when he saw Tang Hao and Tang Xiao running at the same speed as Little Hornet in Little Hornet's rearview mirror. Because now the speed of the Little Hornet has reached 500 kilometers per hour. Tang Hao and Tang Xiao are chasing us? Hearing Long Xiaoyao's thoughts, Ah Yin was a little worried about Tang Hao and Tang Xiao, and couldn't help but poked his head out to check on Tang Hao and Tang Xiao. Because she still thinks that Tang Hao and Tang Xiao should be good people. The speed of Little Hornet is too fast, and she is worried that Tang Hao and Tang Xiao will fall down from exhaustion chasing Little Hornet. Even if you consume a lot of soul power, you still want to chase me and Ah Yin. You must have found that the explosive momentum cannot force me. You guessed that I am Contra. Knowing that I have seen Ah Yin's true form, are you worried that I will steal Ah Yin? Long Xiaoyao guessed that Tang Hao and Tang Xiao had seen his current level and felt that he wanted to steal Ah Yin, so he did not hesitate to use a lot of soul power to catch up with him and Ah Yin. Mr. Long is Contra. Is he really going to attack me? Before seeing Tang Hao and Tang Xiao, Ah Yin determined that Long Xiaoyao was Contra based on Long Xiaoyao's inner voice, and panicked again. After all, Ah Yin knew that Long Xiaoyao, who had already reached Contra level, could already withstand the pressure and backlash when absorbing the soul ring generated after her death. If Long Xiaoyao happened to be at level 90 and wanted to absorb her soul ring and be promoted to title Douluo, now would be the best opportunity. In this case, just activate the flight mode of the Little Hornet. This way you can rush to the next village quickly to treat the villagers, And you can also stimulate the Tang Rishan brothers and let them show their true colors and let Ah Yin know how hypocritical they are. Long Xiaoyao showed a naughty smile. He knew that the Tang Rishan brothers would explode when they saw the next scene. Airplane mode. Is it true that little wasps can't fly? Hearing Long Xiaoyao's voice, Ah Yin was shocked and at the same time looking forward to it. She had never been in a flying car before. But who is Mr. Long? Seems like you don't want to hunt me at all? And you want to help me? Ah Yin looked at Long Xiaoyao and was very curious about what kind of person Long Xiaoyao was. She was also very confused about why Long Xiaoyao wanted to help her since this was the first time he met her. Miss Ah Yin, next I am going to activate the flight mode of the little hornet and fly to the next village at full speed. You have to be prepared. Long Xiaoyao smiled and reminded Ah Yin that he didn't want to just let the little hornet fly without saying anything. Ah Yin is still a little girl now, so it would be bad if she scares Ah Yin. Ah Yin originally wanted to ask Long Xiaoyao who he was, but when she heard Long Xiaoyao's words, she was extremely expectant, nodded, and stabilized her body. Ah Yin is very curious about how the little wasp can fly. She is even more curious about how fast the little wasp can be just by running. How fast should it fly? This must be Ah Yin's first contact with little hornet, right? I'm not surprised at all that the little wasp can fly. Long Xiaoyao was a little surprised to see Ah Yin's face full of expectation and no sign of shock or fear. I already knew that little wasps can fly. Hearing Long Xiaoyao's surprised voice, Ah Yin showed a proud smile. Beep. No longer wondering why Ah Yin was not shocked, Long Xiaoyao directly pressed the switch to flight mode. Then, just as the little hornet was moving forward rapidly, the four tires of the little hornet turned, degrees sideways, flying wings stretched out on both sides, and 6 exhaust pipes appeared behind it. Buzz, call out. Then the centers of the 4 wheels and the 6 exhaust pipes at the back simultaneously sprayed out a large amount of electric gas. The powerful propulsion directly accelerated the little hornet into the sky. Wow! Really flying, at a fast speed, feeling the strong wind, seeing the little wasp getting further and further away from the ground and getting closer and closer to the sky, although she was mentally prepared, she was still very shocked. Ah Yin was so excited that she couldn't help shouting. Because she discovered that the flying speed of the little hornet was actually faster than many flying 10,000-year-old beasts. She had never flown before, and she was very excited that the first time she flew into the sky would be at such a fast speed. Fly up. Tang Hao and Tang Xiao looked at the little hornet that flew up after suddenly transforming. Then stopped and froze on the spot with confused expressions on their faces. They were all dumbfounded. The brothers never expected that the little wasp could fly, and it could fly so fast. Visual inspection is at least 5 times the speed when running. No, that kid must be planning to get rid of us and have Ah Yin all to himself. Let's chase him quickly. We can't let that kid run away with Ah Yin. Otherwise all the hard work we have done in the past few days will be in vain. Boom, boom. 10-year-old soul beasts that have transformed into human form are rare to encounter, especially those that have not yet reached maturity. Tang Hao and Tang Xiao did not want to let Ah Yin go, so they immediately unleashed all their soul power and shot in the direction of the little hornet's flight. And go. Wow! It's so beautiful. Above the sky, in the passenger seat of little hornet, Ah Yin looked at the blue sky and white clouds close at hand, and at the seemingly small but very beautiful mountains and flowing water below. He felt an unprecedented feeling and was deeply attracted. Miss Ah Yin, you are so beautiful and cute. Whether it's the blue sky and white clouds or the mountains and flowing water below, they are not 1/10,000th as good as yours. Looking at Ah Yin's excited smile and her hair dancing in the wind, Long Xiaoyao was immediately attracted to Ah Yin. While driving the little hornet, he admired Ah Yin and spoke without hesitation. Praise sincerely. Young Master Long, you've received the award. How can I be so beautiful? Hearing Long Xiaoyao's praise, Ah Yin was a little embarrassed, but very happy. Her pretty face turned slightly red and she showed a sweet and shy smile. No prizes, I just told the truth. Seeing that Ah Yin was a little shy, Long Xiaoyao said firmly. Seeing Long Xiaoyao telling the truth so seriously, the smile on her face became even brighter, her pretty face turned redder, and she looked even more charming. Miss Ah Yin, do you like this unique beauty scene from the sky? Long Xiaoyao asked with a smile. I like it. I never imagined that the scenery on the ground would look like this from the air. It's simply so beautiful. Ah Yin nodded without hesitation. If Miss Yin wants to see it in the future, you can tell me at any time and I can continue to drive you to see it, Long Xiaoyao said with a smile. Really? After hearing Long Xiaoyao's words, Ah Yin looked at Long Xiaoyao with great anticipation, her eyes shining. She really liked the feeling of overlooking the beautiful scenery of the earth from the air. Of course it's true, Long Xiaoyao nodded affirmatively. Great, Ah Yin then showed a happy smile. But now we should go down, because we have already arrived at the next village, and we have to quickly treat the villagers, then Long Xiaoyao said with a smile. Already reached the next village, Ah Yin was very shocked. She didn't expect that just over a minute had passed since she set off, and she had already arrived at the next village. The distance between the two villages is 10 kilometers. Of course, the little hornet is very fast. Chapter 7 Mr. Long is such a good person. What is that? How did it come down from the sky? There seems to be someone else up there. Ahem. At the entrance of Hongping village, all the villagers looked pale and coughed continuously. They looked at the little wasp slowly falling from the sky shock. They noticed Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin on the little wasp. Everyone was extremely shocked. Under the watchful eyes of the villagers of Hongping village, Long Xiaoyao drove Little Hornet to the entrance of Emperor Soul village, switched to sports car mode, and landed on the ground. Immediately afterwards, Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin opened the car door at the same time and walked out. Long Xiaoyao directly put away the little hornet. What a handsome big brother, what a beautiful big sister, big brother, big sister, are you a couple of gods and gods who came down from the sky? Ahem. Seeing Long Xiaoyao, who is handsome and unmatched in temperament, like a banished immortal, and Ah Yin, who is as beautiful as a fairy, noble and divine in temperament, they feel that they are a perfect match. The children in Hongping village immediately surrounded Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin. Silver asked with curiosity and expectation on his face. They saw that Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin were so handsome and beautiful, and they also exuded a unique temperament. Especially when the little wasp that they had never seen before slowly fell from the sky, they thought that Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin were the same as those in the fairy tales. They were the gods and immortals from the sky fairy couple. These kids are so discerning. Ha ha ha. Hearing the children's questions and seeing their innocent and expectant smiles, Long Xiaoyao was extremely happy and showed a charming smile. He was already imagining the wonderful life of traveling to Douluo continent with the Yin fairy couple. When Ah Yin heard the children's questions, especially Long Xiaoyao's thoughts, she felt a little shy and blushed twice on her pretty face. But instead of feeling angry, he felt more happy and showed a sweet smile. After all, no girl doesn't like to be praised for her beauty by innocent children. Moreover, after she transformed, she heard many beautiful love stories and witnessed many lovers finally getting married. She also yearned for beautiful love. Mr. Long is handsome and kind-hearted. When he first met me, he spared no effort to help me. If I could be with Long Xiaoyao. No. I still don't know who Mr. Long is. I don't know why Mr. Long wants to help me. Children, come back quickly, don't be rude to the two immortals, cough. As soon as the children finished speaking, just when Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin were happily imagining and had no time to answer the children's questions, the old village head of Hongping village immediately stood up and scolded the children. The old village chief had heard that there were gods in the sky. He saw that Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin came down from the sky on little wasps, and both had unparalleled temperament. He felt that Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin were gods, and he was worried that the children would offend the gods, so then he immediately scolded the children. To immortals, I'm so sorry, the naughty children are ignorant, please don't blame them, cough cough. Immediately afterwards, the old village chief asked Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin Dao. After the old village chief finished speaking, he planned to kneel down to Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin and ask for their forgiveness. The villagers also planned to kneel down with the old village chief and pray for forgiveness from Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin, because they also felt that Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin were gods. However, just when the old village chief bent his knees, Long Xiaoyao immediately ran in front of the old village chief and held his arm, making it impossible for the old village chief to kneel down. Old man, fellow villagers, you have misunderstood. My name is Long Xiaoyao, and that girl's name is Ah Yin. Miss Ah Yin and I are not gods. We are doctors. We are here to help the villagers in your village treat their diseases. You don't need to kneel down to us, Long Xiaoyao explained to the old village chief and the villagers with a smile, and also stopped the villagers from kneeling to him and Ah Yin. Mr. Long is so fast. Ah Yin was very surprised when she saw Long Xiaoyao. She didn't expect that Long Xiaoyao was so fast. She just realized that Long Xiaoyao had already explained clearly to the villagers. It turns out it's Dr. Long and Dr. Yin. We misunderstood. Then how did you come down from the sky? Ahem, the old village chief asked curiously, and the villagers also looked at Long Xiaoyao curiously. We came here on the Little Wasp. Little Wasp? Ahem, it's the yellow sports car you saw just now. Oh? Ahem, under Long Xiaoyao's explanation, the villagers seemed to understand, but they didn't seem to understand. Compared to this, old man, are you the mayor of this village? Long Xiaoyao asked. Yes, I am the old village chief of Hongping village. Ahem, the old village chief nodded. That's great, old village chief. Please quickly ask all the villagers in Hongping village who are infected with the disease to come over with a big bowl, and prepare a big pot, 2 big buckets for water, and enough firewood. I'm here to brew a potion that can cure your diseases. As long as one person has a large bowl, I guarantee that the medicine will cure your illness. Long Xiaoyao said with confidence that when he supported the old village chief just now, he had already checked the old village chief's condition clearly by looking, smelling and hearing, and also judged the condition of the villagers by looking and smelling. Long Xiaoyao discovered that the conditions of the villagers in Hongping village were similar to those of the villagers in Dihun village. They could be cured with a bowl of special potion. Really? Ahem, the old village chief and the villagers all asked Long Xiaoyao expectantly while coughing. Long Xiaoyao nodded affirmatively. But we agreed in advance that after curing your disease, each of you will pay me 10 copper soul coins for the treatment fee. Long Xiaoyao reminded the villagers with a smile. 10 copper soul coins, Mr. Dr. Long, are you sure you only accept 10 copper soul coins from each person? 10 copper soul coins can't even buy a pound of pork. Ahem, the villagers were extremely shocked and asked in disbelief. They all thought they heard wrongly. Determined, Long Xiaoyao nodded affirmatively. Stop talking nonsense, hurry up and prepare as I say, otherwise your condition will worsen and it will be troublesome to treat. In serious cases, you may even die, Long Xiaoyao urged the villagers. Okay. Ahem, after hearing Long Xiaoyao's words, the villagers stopped procrastinating and quickly prepared things according to Long Xiaoyao's request. Mr. Long is such a good man. Ah Yin looked at Long Xiaoyao, who never put on any airs, spoke politely, was very patient, and was not exempt from high medical expenses. His favorability towards Long Xiaoyao skyrocketed, and he was a little fascinated. Ah Yin knew that Long Xiaoyao had told her how much medical expenses she would charge in advance, not because she was afraid that the villagers would not be able to afford it, because she knew that the villagers in Hongping village could afford 10 copper soul coins per person. Ah Yin guessed that the reason why Long Xiaoyao spoke out in advance was to stop the villagers from worrying that Long Xiaoyao would charge high medical fees, so that the villagers could treat their illnesses with peace of mind. Boom. Long Xiaoyao directly took out a huge medicine cabinet with hundreds of drawers from the space ring. There was a tag on the cabinet handle, which clearly recorded the names of the collected medicinal materials. The medicine storage cabinet is rectangular in shape, 15 meters long, 1 meter wide and 10 meters high. Is this a medicinal material library? How big is the storage soul guide in Mr. Long's hand? Ah Yin looked at the huge medicine cabinet and was shocked. Ah Yin has heard that some human soul masters have various soul guidance devices, one of which is used to store things. But she knew that the space inside these storage soul guides was limited, usually about 10 cubic meters, which could not accommodate such a large medicine cabinet. She didn't expect that the storage soul guide in Long Xiaoyao's hand could store such a large medicine cabinet. She clearly remembered that little hornet was also among the storage soul guide in Long Xiaoyao's hand. What Ah Yin doesn't know is that the space ring on Long Xiaoyao's hand is a reward from the god of medicine system. It is much larger than the space capacity of the storage soul guide, and time passes very slowly inside. A year outside is equivalent to a day inside. Long Xiaoyao often puts things that need to be kept fresh into the space ring for preservation. Miss Ah Yin, come here, let me explain to you what diseases the villagers have, what medicinal materials are needed to cure their diseases, and how to mix the medicinal materials. Long Xiaoyao smiled and said to Ah Yin. It is good. Ah Yin nodded and walked towards Long Xiaoyao with a learning attitude. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 8. The Tang Rishan brothers were almost exposed. The disease the villagers are suffering from is called influenza A, which is caused by the influenza A virus. This disease can be spread through the digestive tract, respiratory tract, skin lesions and conjunctiva, etc., so it has spread to such a wide area, Long Xiaoyao first explained to Ah Yin. Influenza A? Influenza A virus? Digestive tract, respiratory tract. Ah Yin looked at Long Xiaoyao with a confused look on his face. Hearing Long Xiaoyao say words he had never heard before, he seemed to understand, but he didn't seem to understand. Sorry, I forgot that you probably haven't heard of these words. Long Xiaoyao showed an awkward smile, and then he remembered that the medical skills he had learned were all top-notch scientific medical skills, as well as alchemy and medicine. Douluo continent's current technology can't even see microorganisms, let alone viruses. As for Yin, a 10-year-old soul beast, he couldn't even understand what these were. Yin also smiled awkwardly. She thought this was a word that only humans knew, but Long Xiaoyao said this after seeing her true nature. To put it simply, the human body is also composed of tens of millions of various cells that are so tiny that they cannot be seen by the naked eye. The cells in the villagers' bodies were invaded by an organism called influenza A virus. Influenza A viruses are very small, smaller than the cells that make up the human body, and are completely invisible to the naked eye. That's why the villagers have the high fever, constant coughing, runny nose, myalgia and other symptoms we just saw, and the longer it lasts, it will also be accompanied by severe pneumonia. In severe cases, heart, kidney and other organ failure will lead to death, and the mortality rate is very high. So if we want to cure the villagers' diseases, we need to start from the root of the problem, and we need to brew a potion that can kill the influenza A virus. Immediately afterwards, Long Xiaoyao explained to Ah Yin. I see. Ah Yin suddenly understood and nodded in understanding. Although this was the first time she had heard of a creature that could not be seen with the naked eye, seeing what Long Xiaoyao said so clearly, it seemed to make sense. Moreover, Long Xiaoyao had indeed cured the diseases of the villagers in Emperor Soul Village just now, so she believed Long Xiaoyao's words. Looking at Ah Yin, he definitely didn't understand, but it's normal. After all, medical knowledge is as endless as the vast stars. Ah Yin must have transformed not long ago. He must have never studied medicine. How could he understand it? Seeing Ah Yin's half-understood look, Long Xiaoyao could understand. He couldn't help but think of the medical knowledge he had learned when he just traveled through time, which made his head grow bigger. If it weren't for the god of medicine system that helped Long Xiaoyao understand medical knowledge, he might still be learning medical knowledge and would never be able to become a doctor. There is so much medical knowledge. Listening to Long Xiaoyao's inner voice, Ah Yin was shocked, but also very interested. Because she thought that if she could learn this medical knowledge from Long Xiaoyao, she would be able to treat diseases and save people like Long Xiaoyao, so that people and soul beasts could reduce the pain caused by diseases. Okay, let me tell you what medicinal materials you need and how to mix them. I nodded. First of all, we need 3 pounds of blue silver root. After boiling, it can produce blue silver liquid, which has the function of clearing away heat and detoxifying, and can limit the activity of influenza A virus. I see. Then 2 pounds of green oil grass. Immediately afterwards, Long Xiaoyao took out a large basin and put it on the ground, and began to take Ah Yin to select and match the medicinal materials, and explain to Ah Yin why these medicinal materials were needed. Ah Yin followed Long Xiaoyao and listened carefully to Long Xiaoyao's explanation. After carefully remembering and understanding what Long Xiaoyao said, he realized why these medicinal materials have the function of curing diseases and benefited a lot. Boom. Boom. Less than a minute later, while Long Xiaoyao was still explaining to Ah Yin, 2 huge crashes suddenly sounded behind Long Xiaoyao. It was Tang Hao and Tang Xiao. Hu. Ho. Ho. Tang Hao and Tang Xiao kept breathing heavily and sweating profusely. It turned out that Tang Hao and Tang Xiao came as quickly as possible in order to catch up with Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin in time, prevent Long Xiaoyao from killing Ah Yin, and obtain the soul ring and soul bone, even at the expense of most of their soul power and physical strength. You brat, where's Ah Yin? Tang Hao and Tang Xiao had just landed. The 2 brothers had no time to rest, so they shouted at Long Xiaoyao's back and rushed towards Long Xiaoyao menacingly. At the same time, The two brothers also mobilized their soul power, preparing to activate their martial souls and fight Long Xiaoyao. Long Xiaoyao is 1.8 meters tall and has a very strong body. Ah Yin is 1.6 meters tall and has a curvy figure, but is a bit petite and dainty compared to Long Xiaoyao. Tang Hao and Tang Xiao landed just behind Long Xiaoyao, and Ah Yin happened to be in front of Long Xiaoyao. Long Xiaoyao's figure completely blocked Ah Yin, and Tang Hao and Tang Xiao just couldn't see Ah Yin's figure. The first thing Tang Hao and Tang Xiao thought was that Long Xiaoyao had killed Ah Yin and was planning to absorb Ah Yin's soul ring and soul bone. Huh? Tang Hao, Tang Xiao, are you guys? Ah Yin turned her head and saw that the people coming were Tang Hao and Tang Xiao. She was very surprised. She didn't expect the brothers to arrive here so quickly. Ah Yin, Tang Hao and Tang Xiao were shocked and panicked when they saw Ah Yin, because in their imaginations, Ah Yin should have turned into a corpse by now. Why are you here so soon? Are you okay? Seeing that Tang Hao and Tang Xiao looked very tired, and that the brothers wanted to confirm her condition first when they arrived, Ah Yin was very moved and asked with concern. We're fine, aren't we worried about you? That's why we ran all the way here. I hope you're okay. Tang Hao and Tang Xiao immediately changed their faces, showed innocent smiles, and said with a smile. The two brothers guessed that Long Xiaoyao's purpose must be the same as theirs, to gain Ah Yin's trust. In the future, they would plan to have Ah Yin take the initiative to sacrifice, so that they could best absorb the soul rings and soul bones produced by Ah Yin, so Long Xiaoyao didn't kill Ah Yin. Since Ah Yin is fine and Ah Yin seems to care about the brothers plan to continue implementing the plan. They want to compete with Long Xiaoyao to let Long Xiaoyao know that their acting skills are better. Ah Yin is such a big-breasted and brainless fool. The Tang Rishan brothers were about to reveal their true colors, but she came out early. Are you still going to care about the Tang Rishan brothers? Long Xiaoyao couldn't help scolding Ah Yin in his heart. He had already calculated that Tang Hao and Tang Xiao would fall behind him, and his figure could just block Ah Yin's figure. He believed that after Tang Hao and Tang Xiao came here, if they couldn't see Ah Yin, they would definitely take action against him. Facts have also proved this. But he never expected that Ah Yin would actually come forward in advance. Are you calling me big-breasted and brainless again? Ah Yin was a little angry, and her favorable impression of Long Xiaoyao, which she had just improved, suddenly dropped a lot. Are Tang Hao and Tang Xiao really acting? Ah Yin looked at Tang Hao and Tang Xiao with suspicion. Ah Yin is still very smart and sensible. She clearly remembers that when Tang Hao and Tang Xiao first landed, they angrily called Long Xiaoyao brat, instead of calling them brother Long as they did before. Moreover, Tang Hao and Tang Xiao should know that this area is full of civilians, and except for Long Xiaoyao, there are no powerful soul masters or soul beasts at all. But Tang Hao and Tang Xiao still rushed over quickly. Maybe it was like what Long Xiaoyao said. They were worried that Long Xiaoyao and the brothers would steal her, so they rushed over at the expense of a lot of soul power and physical strength. However, this cannot be blamed on Ah Yin. She is inherently kind-hearted and easily trusts people who treat her well. If we want to blame, we can only blame the Tang Rishan brothers for being too thick-skinned and too good at acting, but I will definitely let you brothers reveal your true colors and let Ah Yin see your true face. After thinking about it, Long Xiaoyao could understand why Ah Yin stood up immediately. Otherwise, Ah Yin would not have been fooled around by brothers Tang Hao and Tang Xiao. After hearing Long Xiaoyao's inner voice, Ah Yin's favorability towards Long Xiaoyao increased a lot. She stared at Tang Hao and Tang Xiao, trying to see if they were acting. Ah Yin, what are you and brother Long doing? Tang Hao and Tang Xiao saw Ah Yin looking at them with suspicion. Knowing that Ah Yin must have become suspicious of their attitude towards Long Xiaoyao just now, they immediately asked with a smile, trying to divert Ah Yin's attention. Chapter 9 Tang Hao and Tang Xiao's Plan. Ah Yin and I are selecting medicinal materials. Before Ah Yin could answer Tang Hao and Tang Xiao's questions, Long Xiaoyao turned around and said to Tang Hao and Tang Xiao with a smile. Long Xiaoyao deliberately called Ah Yin by his name in order to stimulate Tang Hao and Tang Xiao. Well, Long Xiaoyao is explaining to me in detail the selection of medicinal materials and how to combine them to brew a potion that can cure the diseases of the villagers. Ah Yin replied with a smile. She understood why Long Xiaoyao called her by her name. And she also had some doubts about Tang Hao and Tang Xiao. After all, for Tang Hao and Tang Xiao, she could only get a 10-year soul ring and a 10-year soul bone. Compared to Tang Hao and Tang Xiao, Ah Yin trusted Long Xiaoyao more. because she found that Long Xiaoyao didn't know that she could hear Long Xiaoyao's voice, and she found that Long Xiaoyao cared very much about the villagers and her. She felt that Long Xiaoyao was a good person. Originally, Ah Yin thought that Tang Hao and Tang Xiao were good people, but after seeing Tang Hao and Tang Xiao's rapid changes in their expressions just now, she began to believe Long Xiaoyao's words. So Ah Yin deliberately called Long Xiaoyao by his first name in order to cooperate with Long Xiaoyao and to see if Tang Hao and Tang Xiao were really acting to deceive her, as Long Xiaoyao said. I see. Tang Hao and Tang Xiao nodded absent-mindedly. They noticed that in just a few minutes, Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin were already calling each other's names, and they felt a sense of crisis. You know, in order to match their names to Ah Yin, they spent 2 days acting like cattle and horses for Ah Yin, letting him do whatever he wanted. Why is Ah Yin so cooperative? Long Xiaoyao was a little surprised when he heard Ah Yin also call him by his first name. He thought Ah Yin would call him Young Master Long. As expected, Long Xiaoyao didn't know that I could hear his thoughts. Hearing Long Xiaoyao's inner voice made him even more sure of this, and Ah Yin smiled. Tang Hao, Tang Xiao, I didn't expect you two brothers to arrive so quickly. You must be very tired now, right? You guys should go aside and rest first. Long Xiaoyao smiled and said to Tang Hao and Tang Xiao. Ah Yin, without further ado, let's continue selecting medicinal materials. Then without waiting for Tang Hao and Tang Xiao to reply, Long Xiaoyao smiled directly and said to Yin. I nodded. Then, under the leadership of Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin directly ignored Tang Hao and Tang Xiao and continued to select and explain medicinal materials. 3 pounds of Kinksenkao. After being boiled, it can produce Kinksensu, which can remove toxins. I see. Creak creak. When Tang Hao and Tang Xiao watched Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin select and explain the medicinal materials, Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin cooperated skillfully. They stood very close and touched each other's hands from time to time. They looked very close and gritted their teeth in anger, biting out a sound. The two brothers clenched their fists, feeling extremely angry and envious, and had no intention of resting. The two brothers really wanted to take Long Xiaoyao's place and interact closely with Ah Yin in Long Xiaoyao's place, leaving Long Xiaoyao to watch stupidly like them. But the brothers couldn't do it because they were focused on practicing and knew nothing about medical skills. They can only look on with envy. Master Dr. Long, Master Dr. Ah Yin, we have prepared everything you want. Cough cough. A few minutes later, the old village chief of Hongping village arrived at the entrance of Hongping village with all the people infected with the flu and the things Zhiang ordered to prepare. Okay, thank you for your hard work. Just rest aside and leave the rest to us, Long Xiaoyao said with a smile. Ah Yin, without further ado, let's speed up the selection of medicinal materials. Immediately afterwards, Long Xiaoyao smiled and said to Ah Yin. I nodded. Ah Yin, Brother Long, we brothers have rested. We can help you with things. Just give us your orders. At this moment, Tang Hao and Tang Xiao immediately ran to Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin, patted their chests, and looked confident. Long Xiaoyao smiled, knowing that Tang Hao and Tang Xiao would definitely take the initiative to ask for help. In that case, please ask Tang Hao to take the 2 big buckets and fill them with water. Tang Xiao, go and light a fire. Make it bigger and set up the big pot, Long Xiaoyao ordered. Ah Yin, let's continue. Then Long Xiaoyao stopped caring about Tang Hao and Tang Xiao and continued to select and match medicinal materials with Ah Yin. Tang Hao and Tang Xiao looked at Long Xiaoyao very unhappily, then looked at each other with fierce eyes, and nodded understandingly. Tang Xiao walked to the firewood and began to prepare for life. Tang Hao walked to the 2 big buckets, picked up the pole and buckets, and followed the villagers' instructions to go to the wellhead to fetch water. After a while, Tang Hao came to the wellhead. Tang Hao first looked around, and after making sure that no one was around, he took out a large bag of medicinal powder from his waist, divided it into 2 parts, poured it directly into 2 buckets, and showed a sinister smile. Long Xiaoyao, I want you to know the consequences of offending our Haoshan Devil Star. Ha ha ha. The medicinal powder Tang Hao took out was called Jianhui Zioshi powder. It is colorless and odorless when dissolved in water, making it extremely difficult to detect. After drinking a small amount, it can clear the intestines and treat constipation. Tang Hao and Tang Xiao have been troubled by constipation from time to time for many years, so they carry a large amount of stomach strengthening and Zioshi powder with them to treat constipation. However, If you consume a large amount, you will immediately feel stomach pain, and then continue to have diarrhea, and the effect of the medicine will last for at least 1 day. According to Tang Hao's dosage, the villagers in Hongping village would have diarrhea for at least 2 days. The reason why Tang Hao did this was to make the villagers have diarrhea. Then he put the blame on Long Xiaoyao, saying that it was caused by the potion brewed by Long Xiaoyao. This was used to frame Long Xiaoyao as a bad doctor, which made Ah Yin's favorability towards Long Xiaoyao drop. Then they used the excuse of revenge on the villagers to force Long Xiaoyao to show his true colors so that they could kill Long Xiaoyao. In this case, Ah Yin is in their pocket. Immediately afterwards, Tang Hao fetched water from the well mouth, filled the bucket, and stirred it thoroughly so that the giant Wuizai powder was completely integrated into the water. Then Tang Hao picked up the big pot and walked back to the entrance of Hongping village. When Tang Hao rushed back, Tang Xiao happened to have lit the fire and set up the cauldron. Tang Hao carried 2 buckets of water to the fire. Tang Hao and Tang Xiao looked at each other and smiled, knowing that this wave was stable. Ah Yin, brother Long, are already okay. After hearing Tang Hao's reminder, Long Xiaoyao put the medicine cabinet into the space ring, and then worked with Ah Yin to pick up a large basin filled with various medicinal materials and walked to the fire. After placing the big basin next to the fire, Long Xiaoyao came to the bucket and planned to pour the water in the bucket into the big pot. There are so many stomach-strengthening and digestion powders in this water, such a large amount can give the villagers diarrhea for more than 2 days. I didn't expect that. In order to eliminate my obstacle and win Ah Yin's trust, the brothers Tang Rishan actually added so much stomach-building and digestion powder into the water. Even the children and elderly people in Hongping village are not spared. Such a large amount would kill them. Long Xiaoyao was very angry. He had an eye of insight and could see at a glance that there was a large amount of stomach-strengthening and digestion powder in the water. The eye of insight is a reward that Long Xiaoyao received 3 years ago. Although it looks no different from ordinary eyes, it can see through the essence of all things. This was also the reason why he could see through Ah Yin's body at a glance before, and why he could see the levels of Tang Hao and Tang Xiao. What? Is there a lot of stomach and digestion powder in the water? Hearing Long Xiaoyao's voice, Ah Yin was extremely shocked and felt very unbelievable. She looked at Tang Hao and Tang Xiao angrily. She did not expect that Tang Hao and Tang Xiao could be so vicious. Chapter 10 The Tang Rishan brothers reap the consequences. It's just a stomach-building and digestion powder, so it won't bother me. As long as I add some cowgrass and cook it together, it will produce cowherb that neutralizes the stomach-building and digestion powder. It will not affect the efficacy of my boiled potion, and it can also help the villagers' digestion. Long Xiaoyao had already thought of a countermeasure, and he showed an evil smile. But since you 2 brothers are going to engage in such cruel methods, I will let you taste the consequences of drinking so much stomach-building and digestion powder. What does Long Xiaoyao plan to do? Ah Yin originally wanted to question why Tang Hao and Tang Xiao were so cruel, but after hearing Long Xiaoyao's inner voice, she gave up the idea and looked at Long Xiaoyao curiously. She wanted to see how Long Xiaoyao would punish Tang Hao and Tang Hao. Tang Xiao, why did this brat stop? You should hurry up and boil the potion with the water in the bucket. Tang Hao and Tang Xiao looked at Long Xiaoyao nervously, wondering why Long Xiaoyao stopped. Because logically speaking, Long Xiaoyao should not be able to discover that Tang Hao had put the stomach and digestion powder in the water. Long Xiaoyao turned to the 2 children from Hongping village who were watching on the side, squatted down, and showed a friendly smile. Kids, can you lend me your bowl? The 2 uncles who just ran all the way over and helped us light the fire and fetch water are definitely very thirsty now. I need your bowls to let them drink water. Oops. When Tang Hao and Tang Xiao heard Long Xiaoyao's words, they immediately felt very bad and had an ominous premonition. That's it. After hearing Long Xiaoyao's words, Ah Yin immediately understood Long Xiaoyao's plan and showed a bit of a bad smile. Okay, alright, the 2 children smiled and nodded, then handed the bowl directly to Long Xiaoyao. You're so good, thank you. Long Xiaoyao smiled and praised the 2 helpful children, then took the bowls and filled 2 large bowls of water. Tang Hao and Tang Xiao looked at the 2 full bowls of water in Long Xiaoyao's hands and wanted to run away. But they knew what would happen after drinking the bowls of water. But they couldn't run away, because they knew that Long Xiaoyao must have suspected that they had drugged the water, so he let them drink a bowl first. If they slipped away now, or had any hesitation when drinking, or did not finish the 2 large bowls of water, Long Xiaoyao would definitely guess that they had drugged the bowls. In that case, not only will their goals not be achieved, but they will also be exposed. So they have only one choice now, which is to drink it. Brother Tang Hao, Brother Tang Xiao, thank you for your hard work. Come on, drink this bowl of water. Long Xiaoyao brought 2 full bowls of water in front of Tang Hao and Tang Xiao, and said to the brothers with a smile, looking very cordial. But in the eyes of Tang Hao and Tang Xiao, Long Xiaoyao was now like a smiling god of death, which made them feel extremely scared. Thank you, Brother Long. Tang Hao and Tang Xiao smiled bitterly, their hands trembling slightly, and took the bowl from Long Xiaoyao's hand without hesitation. Gollum, tons. Tang Hao and Tang Xiao looked at the clean and clear water in the bowl, swallowed a large mouthful of saliva, put it directly into their mouths, and drank it all in one go without any sloppiness. Ah! This water is so sweet. After Tang Hao and Tang Xiao finished drinking, they did not forget to show happy smiles and sincerely praise. Is it such a good drink? Long Xiaoyao showed a naughty smile, then took the bowl directly from the hands of Tang Hao and Tang Xiao, and filled 2 more bowls. Mud horse. Tang Hao and Tang Xiao saw Long Xiaoyao fetching 2 more bowls of water, and 10,000 mud-covered horses galloped past their heads. They really wanted to let Long Xiaoyao taste their fists as big as sandbags. But they can't do that, it will expose them. Secondly, the stomach and digestion powder has taken effect, and they are now working hard to close the chrysanthemums. If they make any big move, the chrysanthemum will most likely open directly, and the yellow solid inside will most likely spray out. Although the 2 brothers were wearing pants, no one could see them. But they know that the yellow solid in their bodies smells very strong and smelly, and everyone present will definitely smell it. That's a shame. Since this well water is so sweet and you drink it so quickly, you must be very thirsty. How about another bowl? Long Xiaoyao placed a bowl filled with water in front of Tang Hao and Tang Xiao again, showed an extremely kind smile, and said to Tang Hao and Tang Xiao with a smile. Giggle. Seeing that Long Xiaoyao was so friendly to Tang Hao and Tang Xiao, Ah Yin couldn't help laughing, but in order to prevent Tang Hao and Tang Xiao from hearing it, she covered her mouth with her jade hand before laughing. Tang Hao and Tang Xiao looked at Long Xiaoyao's friendly smile and the clear and clean water in the bowl, and smiled as if they had eaten a pound of water. Although they really wanted to knock over the bowl in Long Xiaoyao's hand and kill Long Xiaoyao directly, they couldn't do that. Now they only have to drink this bowl of water again, let Long Xiaoyao believe them, let Long Xiaoyao boil the potion with the water in the bucket, and then implement their plan. Okay, thank you Brother Long. Tang Hao and Tang Xiao took the bowl from Long Xiaoyao's hand without hesitation with slightly trembling hands. Tons. Then Tang Hao and Tang Xiao worked together and drank the water in the bowl again. But this time they were a little smarter and didn't drink as fast as last time. Ah! I'm full, it tastes so good. Tang Hao and Tang Xiao smiled bitterly and showed satisfied smiles. Then they closed their chrysanthemums tightly and walked with stiff postures and small steps to the 2 children who had just lent Long Xiaoyao the bowl. This stiff walking posture, it should be pulled out soon. How much stomach strengthening and digestion powder did they use? This effect is too good. I'm afraid Tang Hao and Tang Xiao have never thought that they would drink so much by themselves. Ha. Looking at Tang Hao and Tang Xiao, Long Xiaoyao was very happy, but in order not to be exposed, he suppressed his smile and did not laugh directly. Is Long Xiaoyao too bad? But I like it. Ah Yin looked at Tang Hao and Tang Xiao, listened to Long Xiaoyao's inner voice, and confirmed that the water indeed contained a large amount of stomachic and digestive powder. She felt that what Tang Hao and Tang Xiao did was too despicable and excessive. Not only did she not feel that Long Xiaoyao did it too much, but it felt very satisfying. Kids, thank you very much. When we are full, your bowls will be returned to you. Tang Hao and Tang Xiao showed a kind smile and said to the 2 children with a smile. They were worried that if they didn't return it directly to the 2 children, Long Xiaoyao would continue to let them drink it. They really wanted Long Xiaoyao to drink a few bowls, so that Long Xiaoyao could taste their current pain. But they couldn't do that, otherwise Long Xiaoyao would definitely guess that they had put the stomach and digestion powder in the water, and the plan would come to naught. No, you're welcome. The 2 children looked at the kind smiles of Tang Hao and Tang Xiao, and their voices trembled with fear. After taking the bowl with trembling hands, they ran away quickly. Ah Yin, Brother Long, without further ado, hurry up and cook the medicinal materials. If there's anything you need us brothers to do, Just ask. Immediately afterwards, Tang Hao and Tang Xiao turned to Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin, and said with a smile, trying to pretend that nothing happened. But this time they didn't dare to pat their breasts anymore, because they were worried that if they did, their anus would open directly and the yellow solid inside would pour out. Now they just hope that Long Xiaoyao will not let them do things again, and that Long Xiaoyao will quickly use the water in the bucket to boil the potion. Otherwise, all their efforts will be in vain. Chapter 11 It stinks. ? Okay, but there's nothing going on without you, just go over there and rest. Long Xiaoyao suppressed his smile, pointed to one side and said to Tang Hao and Tang Xiao. Tang Hao and Tang Xiao nodded and walked towards the place pointed by Long Xiaoyao with mechanical steps. Ah Yin, let's check the medicinal materials first to see if there are any missing medicinal materials or missing parts. This is a major matter related to the life safety of the villagers. Immediately afterwards, Long Xiaoyao smiled and said to Ah Yin, I'm not in a hurry to pour the water in the bucket into the pot to boil the potion. I'm in a hurry to kill you. Long Xiaoyao showed an evil smile, then walked to the big basin and squatted down in a hurry, and began to examine the medicinal materials seriously. Okay, Ah Yin nodded very cooperatively and began to check the medicinal materials with Long Xiaoyao. Because although Ah Yin is indeed kind-hearted, he is not indifferent to right from wrong. Tang Hao and Tang Xiao wanted to deal with Long Xiaoyao and deceive her, even at the cost of harming the villagers, and she couldn't bear it anymore. So Ah Yin chose to cooperate with Long Xiaoyao and give Tang Hao and Tang Xiao some punishment. Moreover, Ah Yin felt that Long Xiaoyao was right and needed to check carefully. If any medicinal materials were missed or mixed with the wrong ingredients, causing the villagers' condition to worsen, it would be her and Long Xiaoyao's fault. At this time, Tang Hao and Tang Xiao had their legs tightly closed, the muscles in their buttocks contracted with all their strength, and their whole bodies tensed up. They were so strong that they did not dare to take a big breath. Sweat broke out on their foreheads and backs, in order to prevent the yellow solid from pouring out. Hurry up! Tang Hao and Tang Xiao screamed inwardly. They wanted to urge Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin very much, but they did not dare to say it out loud. First, he was worried that Long Xiaoyao would become suspicious. Secondly, I was worried that I would be discouraged and the yellow solid would spurt out from the chrysanthemum. This would not only be very embarrassing, but also make Long Xiaoyao suspicious. So now they can only look at Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin, hoping that Long Xiaoyao will quickly complete the inspection and then boil the potion with the water in the bucket. They also wanted to solve their physical problems quickly, but they did not dare to leave until they saw Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin brewing potions with water from the buckets. Because they were worried that Long Xiaoyao would become suspicious and that Long Xiaoyao would fetch water again, which would ruin their perfect plan. The pain they are enduring now is in vain. No, there's missing cowsheed grass. Ah Yin, go to the medicine cabinet quickly and get 3 kilograms of cowgrass. I'll pour the water into the pot first. After carefully checking for 3 minutes, Long Xiaoyao suddenly said, That's it. After hearing Long Xiaoyao's words, Ah Yin immediately understood. Okay, Ah Yin nodded, then walked to the medicine cabinet and started looking for bullpen grass. Long Xiaoyao walked towards the bucket calmly. Very good. Seeing that Long Xiaoyao was finally starting to boil water, Tang Hao and Tang Xiao finally breathed a sigh of relief. They had no idea that cowgrass could neutralize the medicinal effect of Jiangwuxiaoshi powder, and thought they were really lacking cowgrass. But it was precisely because of this relief that the yellow solid in Tang Hao and Tang Xiao's bodies almost poured out. Fortunately, they clamped the anus with all their strength in time, otherwise their efforts for so long would have been in vain. However, the middle of the brothers' thighs and waists also made strange noises, attracting people's attention. Brother Tang Hao, Brother Tang Xiao, what's wrong with you? Why are you making such a strange noise? Hearing the calls of Tang Hao and Tang Xiao, Long Xiaoyao showed a friendly smile and asked with concern. Tang Hao, Tang Xiao, are you okay? Ah Yin also turned to Tang Hao and Tang Xiao. Seeing that the two brothers were in extreme pain, but they had to pretend that nothing happened and smile, she was kind-hearted and couldn't bear it. But she had no intention of helping the brothers, because now she was sure that Tang Hao and Tang Xiao were really using vicious methods to deal with Long Xiaoyao and deceive her in order to get her, as Long Xiaoyao said. In other words, Tang Hao and Tang Xiao are her enemies, and she still knows that she cannot be merciful to her enemies. We're fine, you don't need to worry about us. Hurry up and help the villagers boil the potion. If you delay it any longer, it will be very bad for the villagers. Tang Hao and Tang Xiao forced out a smile and said with a smile, Wakao, as expected of the Tang Rishan brothers, it's already this time, but you can still hold on and don't forget to act to deceive Ah Yin. Seeing Tang Hao and Tang Xiao working so hard, Long Xiaoyao somewhat admired the perseverance of Tang Hao and Tang Xiao. However, now is not the time for the Tang Rishan brothers to reveal their true colors. The top priority is to help the villagers boil the potion first, and then let them reveal their true colors. It will not be too late for Ah Yin to see their true colors. Thinking of this, Long Xiaoyao stopped caring about Tang Hao and Tang Xiao and continued to walk towards the bucket. After hearing Long Xiaoyao's voice, Ah Yin suddenly no longer felt sorry for Tang Hao and Tang Xiao, and was no longer anxious to let Tang Hao and Tang Xiao reveal their true colors, and continued to look for the bullpen grass. Seeing Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin continuing to work, Tang Hao and Tang Xiao breathed a sigh of relief again, but this time they did not dare to relax. After a while, Long Xiaoyao walked to the two buckets and poured all the water in the buckets into the cauldron. Then Long Xiaoyao walked to the large basin filled with medicinal materials, picked up the medicinal materials that needed to be boiled first, and prepared to put them into the pot. Hurry up and put the herbs in. Tang Hao and Tang Xiao stared at Long Xiaoyao closely, eager for Long Xiaoyao to put the medicinal materials into the cauldron. Long Xiaoyao, wait a minute, I've brought the cowshed grass. At this moment, Ah Yin came to Long Xiaoyao's side with 3 kilograms of cowgrass and called out to Long Xiaoyao. Very good, you can just put it in. The cowherd grass needs to be cooked from scratch together with a green grass, blue silver root, and green oil grass to achieve the maximum medicinal effect, Long Xiaoyao said, and then directly put the medicinal materials in his hand into the cauldron. Okay, Ah Yin nodded and put the cowshed grass into the cauldron. Very good. Seeing that Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin finally started brewing the potion, Tang Hao and Tang Xiao finally relaxed their worries and breathed a sigh of relief. Poof, however, just when Tang Hao and Tang Xiao breathed a sigh of relief, the muscles of the brothers' whole bodies, especially the muscles of their buttocks, relaxed, and a loud and crisp sound of blisters exploding sounded from the brothers' thighs to their waists. Oops. Tang Hao and Tang Xiao quickly tensed up their bodies again and clamped their legs tightly. Although the chrysanthemum was closed again, a small part of the yellow solid in the two brothers' bodies was still sprayed out along with many kinds of gas. Fart? The adults in Hongping village looked at Tang Hao and Tang Xiao with question marks on their faces, because they did not expect that Tang Hao and Tang Xiao would fart in front of so many people. And the fart sound was so loud. It even seems to be accompanied by a yellow solid. You are such an adult, and you fart so loudly in front of so many people? Ha ha ha, cough cough. The children in Hongping village pointed directly at Tang Hao and Tang Xiao, coughing and laughing. However, the children who laughed at Tang Hao and Tang Xiao were immediately covered by their parents, for fear of offending Tang Hao and Tang Xiao, which was why they did not dare to say it directly. Tang Hao and Tang Xiao immediately blushed, feeling extremely ashamed, and wanted to get in through a crack in the ground. But the brothers couldn't do this, otherwise the yellow solid in their bodies would spurt out. It stinks. Cough cough cough. Immediately afterwards, a strong stench began to spread, and the villagers who were closer to Tang Hao and Tang Xiao couldn't help covering their mouths and noses, complaining, and running away from Tang Hao and Tang Xiao. Because the smell is so great. Other villagers also fled one after another. They looked at Tang Hao and Tang Xiao as if they were looking at a dung heap, with extremely disgusting eyes, wishing to drive Tang Hao and Tang Xiao away. But they didn't dare to do this because they couldn't afford to offend Tang Hao and Tang Xiao. Chapter 12 How can you be okay? I really can't help it. Fortunately, I had the foresight to let the Tang Rishan brothers stand downwind, so the smell did not reach Yin and I. Ha ha ha. Long Xiaoyao looked at the extremely embarrassed Tang Hao and Tang Xiao and smiled happily. He had long known that Tang Hao and Tang Xiao would not be able to solve physiological problems before they saw him boiling medicinal materials with water in the bucket. Therefore, Tang Hao and Tang Xiao would most likely be unable to hold it back and release something with a strong smell, and they had already thought of countermeasures. Long Xiaoyao is too smart. Actually, we have reached this point long ago. Ah Yin couldn't help but smile. She didn't expect that Long Xiaoyao had expected this a long time ago and asked Tang Hao and Tang Xiao to stand downwind to protect her and Long Xiaoyao from the poisonous gas attack. I'm really sorry. We brothers have stomach problems and our old habits have returned. We couldn't hold it back for a while, Ah Yin, Brother Long, we two brothers are going to solve the physical problems first. It may take a long time. You continue to brew potions for the villagers. Tang Hao and Tang Xiao forced a smile and explained awkwardly and seriously. Because they were worried that if they didn't find a reasonable excuse, Long Xiaoyao would suspect that their diarrhea was caused by the water they just drank. If Long Xiaoyao took the opportunity to change the water and boil the potion again while they were solving their physiological problems, all their efforts and all the pain and embarrassment they would be experiencing would be in vain. Wakao, as expected of the Tang Rishan brothers, they are too tolerant and capable of making things up. I still haven't forgotten to find excuses to act. Long Xiaoyao even admired Tang Hao and Tang Xiao. Really good at acting. Ah Yin nodded. Although she still couldn't tell that Tang Hao and Tang Xiao were acting on the surface, she was now sure that Tang Hao and Tang Xiao were acting in order to deal with Long Xiaoyao and then get her. Ah Yin still knows right from wrong, so she has no sympathy for Tang Hao and Tang Xiao. Instead, she feels that the brothers are very hypocritical. Okay, you go quickly. Otherwise it will leak into your pants later and it will be bad. I still know how to treat stomach problems. When you come back, I will come and take a look at you to ensure that the medicine will cure the problem. Holding back his smile, Long Xiaoyao nodded and expressed cordial concern. It's already leaked. It's all your fault. If you hadn't suddenly appeared. If you weren't much more handsome than us. If you didn't know more about medicine than we do. If you hadn't wanted to snatch Ah Yin from us. If you hadn't been so cunning and forced us to drink 2 large bowls of water, we wouldn't be where we are now. Tang Hao and Tang Xiao looked at Long Xiaoyao angrily and aggrievedly, blaming everything on Long Xiaoyao. The two brothers looked at Long Xiaoyao's smile and suddenly became furious. They wanted to teach Long Xiaoyao a lesson, let Long Xiaoyao know how powerful they were, and let Long Xiaoyao know the consequences of offending them. But they cannot do this, otherwise all their efforts so far will be in vain. They wanted to wait until the villagers in Hongping village showed the same symptoms as them before blaming Long Xiaoyao. Then he taught Long Xiaoyao a lesson. Moreover, the brothers have more important things to do now, and they can hardly hold it in any longer. Okay, thank you in advance, Brother Long. I will trouble you then. Tang Hao and Tang Xiao suppressed their anger, forced out a smile, and nodded with a smile. Boom, boom. Immediately afterwards, Tang Hao and Tang Xiao burst out with momentum at the same time, blocking the anus with their right hands and covering their mouths and noses with their left hands. Shhhhh. Then Tang Hao and Tang Xiao galloped away directly towards the creek they saw when they came, but their posture was a bit hard to describe. It's like a person with an injured leg trying to run with all their strength. They are twisted and funny, making people particularly worried that they will suddenly fall down. 2 Soul Masters, there are no toilets outside the village. Ahem, the old village chief reminded me kindly. Tang Hao and Tang Xiao didn't reply and still ran towards the outside of the village. Of course they knew there were no toilets outside the village, but they not only wanted to expel the yellow solid, but also had to take a shower. Because they could already feel the yellow solid in their bodies touching their thighs, and they could also smell the smoky smell. The brothers need to take a bath after expelling the yellow solid to remove the smell from their bodies. Otherwise, even if the plot succeeds, they will be embarrassed to get close to Yin, which will make a Yin's favorability towards them decrease. It's okay, old village chief, let them go. Long Xiaoyao smiled and said to the old village chief that he could guess why Tang Hao and Tang Xiao ran outside Hongping village. Okay, the old village chief nodded. Ah Yin, let's continue brewing the potion. Long Xiaoyao smiled and said to Ah Yin. Although Tang Hao and Tang Xiao are no longer here, since Long Xiaoyao has called Ah Yin by his name just now, and Ah Yin has also called him by name, of course he will not call Ah Yin Miss Ah Yin again. Okay, Ah Yin smiled and nodded. She didn't mind at all that Long Xiaoyao still called her by her name, and she was a little happy. Then Long Xiaoyao worked with Ah Yin to cook the potion, and explained to Ah Yin the points that need to be paid attention to when brewing the potion's second brother. Please stay away, it really stinks, Wakao. How dare you say my smelly? Does yours smell good? Although mine doesn't smell good, it's not as smelly as yours, right? I'm just begging you as a big brother. Can you please go over there? My stomach hurts so much now, and it keeps gushing out. I'm exhausted. I can't move around at all, it sounds like I'm not the same. I can't move now, okay? If you think it's too smelly, just move it yourself. Fang Zheng, I won't move, you, ouch, AWW. At the same time, outside Hongping village, The voices of Tang Hao and Tang Xiao could be heard constantly from the reeds beside the stream. 2 hours later, Tang Hao and Tang Xiao were taking a bath in the creek. It's all because of that brat Xiaoyao. Not only did we lose face in front of that stupid weed, but he also had diarrhea for 2 hours straight. I will never let him go. I want him to look good. Tang Hao said angrily while cleaning the red anus. Don't worry, I believe that brat and that stupid weed are almost ready to brew the potion. Let's wash up quickly, change into clean clothes, and then rush back to prepare to teach that brat Xiaoyao a lesson. Tang Xiao also washed the red chrysanthemum while showing a lewd and proud smile. Brother is right. Not only can we teach that brat Xiaoyao a lesson, but we can also deceive that idiot into favor, killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Ha ha ha! Tang Hao burst out laughing very happily, as if he had already seen the result he wanted to see. Grunt. At this moment, Tang Hao and Tang Xiao's stomachs began to growl at the same time. Damn, here we go again. Ouch! Tang Hao and Tang Xiao had no time to put on their clothes, so they held their stomachs and ran out of the stream and towards the reeds on the side. Second brother, come over here. Damn it, won't you go there by yourself? I've already pulled it out. I pulled it out too. Chapter 13, the fierce look is revealed and Tang Hao is furious. More than an hour later, at the entrance of Hongping village. Vomit. The villagers who had drank the potion and were cured of the flu were lining up in a row and retching, forming a beautiful scenery. Ding. Congratulations to the host for curing a patient infected with influenza and earning 1000 miracle healing points. Ding. Looking at the villagers who had been cured of the flu, and listening to the crisp and sweet voice ringing in his mind, Xiaoyao smiled happily. Ah Yin looked at the villagers who drank the potion that she and Xiaoyao had worked together to cure the flu. She also showed a happy smile and felt very happy. Xiaoyao and Ah Yin continued to laugh as they poured potions for the few remaining villagers and asked them to drink them. How could you not have diarrhea? At this moment, Tang Hao and Tang Xiao returned to the entrance of Hongping village and looked at the villagers of Hongping village in great shock. Don't you feel a stomachache? Tang Hao and Tang Xiao asked the villagers in disbelief. That was a potion mixed with a large amount of stomach-strengthening indigestion powder that took the 2 brothers for about 3 hours. If the 2 brothers hadn't drained the entire esophagus and there would be nothing left to pass, the brothers would still be suffering from diarrhea. The 2 brothers really couldn't figure out why the villagers in Hongping village didn't have diarrhea. Stomachache? No, we just feel that the taste of the potion is too strong, which makes us a little nauseous. We don't feel any stomach pain. Vomit, the villagers replied, then looked at Tang Hao and Tang Xiao with question marks on their faces, wondering why Tang Hao and Tang Xiao thought they should have stomach aches. How can that be possible? Tang Hao and Tang Xiao were shocked and couldn't figure out why. Could it be that brat Xiaoyao exchanged water with a yin stupid straw to brew the potion? Impossible. We have clearly seen with our own eyes that they used water containing stomach and digestion powder to boil the potion. Tang Hao and Tang Xiao thought about it over and over, but couldn't think of a reason. Okay, it's time for the Tang Rishan brothers to reveal their true colors and let Ah Yin see their true colors. Otherwise, if we continue to let the 2 brothers continue to follow us shamelessly, suddenly look for opportunities to attack us, and injure Ah Yin, the gain will outweigh the loss at this moment. After Xiaoyao and Ah Yin prepared the potion for the last 2 villagers, Xiaoyao showed an evil smile. Who is Xiaoyao? Why do you care about me so much? Ah Yin looked at Xiaoyao in confusion. She had always wanted to ask this question, but she couldn't find the opportunity. But now is not the time to ask this. I will find an opportunity to ask in the future. You don't have to wonder why the villagers don't have diarrhea like you do, because there is no stomach-strengthening indigestion powder in the water they drink, Xiaoyao said with a smile while walking towards Tang Hao and Tang Xiao. How can that be possible? We clearly saw that you used the water in the bucket to brew the potion, right? Could it be that you changed the water and brewed the potion after we left? When Tang Hao and Tang Xiao heard Xiaoyao's words, they blurted out the question immediately. You actually put stomachic and digestive powder in the water. You are so cruel. There are many old people and children among the villagers. Ah Yin angrily questioned Tang Hao and Tang Xiao. Although she had confirmed this, she suddenly felt extremely angry when she heard that Tang Hao and Tang Xiao had revealed in person that they did not care about the life and death of the villagers. Oops. After hearing Ah Yin's question, Tang Hao and Tang Xiao realized that what they had just said had accidentally exposed their plan. Now that Ah Yin already knows their plan, It is impossible for them to continue to deceive Ah Yin's trust and then design Ah Yin to sacrifice to one of them. All their efforts have been in vain. I remember I didn't tell Ah Yin. How did Ah Yin know that Tang Hao added stomach-building indigestion powder to the water he drew? Could it be that Ah Yin, who is the Blue-Silver Emperor, can tell that the water contains stomach-building indigestion powder? Also, do you know that cowherd grass can neutralize the stomach-building indigestion powder? Is that why you cooperate with me? It's not right. Looking at Ah Yin's understanding of medicinal herbs, it seems that she has not reached this level. How did she figure it out? Long Xiaoyao looked at Ah Yin in surprise. He couldn't figure this out. Unexpected. I overheard it. Ah Yin felt very happy to hear Long Xiaoyao's inner voice. She finally made Long Xiaoyao puzzled. Wait a minute, after the Jianhua Zioshi powder is dissolved in water, it is colorless and odorless. You can't tell it at all. How do you know that the water in the bucket contains Jianhua Zioshi powder? Tang Hao and Tang Xiao questioned Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin Dao in disbelief, and their eyes became fierce. Now that they have been exposed, there is no need to pretend anymore. Just kill Long Xiaoyao and capture Ah Yin. When they are promoted to title Douluo, they can kill Ah Yin and obtain the soul ring and soul bone. Okay. But before that, they wanted to find out how Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin discovered that the water contained Jianhua Zioshi powder, otherwise they would be confused for the rest of their lives. When Ah Yin heard Tang Hao and Tang Xiao's questions, she also looked at Long Xiaoyao curiously, because she couldn't see it but overheard it. I'm a doctor. It's just a stomach-building indigestion powder. How could it escape my eyes? I can tell it right away. Long Xiaoyao proudly explained that of course he would not say that he had an eye of insight, but there was nothing wrong with what he said. As for Ah Yin, he really couldn't figure out why Ah Yin knew. But now is not the time to ask Ah Yin. It is not too late to ask again when you are free in the future. Long Xiaoyao is too awesome. You can actually tell it at a glance. Ah Yin was shocked. She didn't expect Long Xiaoyao to be so powerful. Could it be that someone like Long Xiaoyao, who is proficient in medical skills, would be able to do this? Ah Yin didn't know that Long Xiaoyao had an eye of insight, and guessed that it must be because of this that he became more interested in medical skills. What? Tang Hao, Tang Xiao, and the villagers were also shocked. So you already knew it? In that case, you made us brothers drink 2 large bowls of water each, made us embarrassed in front of so many people, and made us have diarrhea for more than 3 hours. Is this intentional? Tang Hao and Tang Xiao suddenly realized this. They grated their teeth angrily and questioned Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin Dao. Now they finally knew why Long Xiaoyao made each of them drink 2 large bowls of water. If not, you specially added so much stomach-building indigestion powder. Wouldn't it be a waste if I didn't let you have a taste? Ha ha ha. Long Xiaoyao spread his hands, showed a proud smile, and asked Tang Hao and Tang Xiao with a smile, just to stimulate Tang Hao and Tang Xiao. Do you know why I still use the water in the bucket to boil the potion even though I know you added stomachic and digestive powder to the water? It's just to make you think that your evil plot has succeeded and make you happy for a while. Ha ha ha. Immediately afterwards, Long Xiaoyao continued to laugh and further stimulated Tang Hao and Tang Xiao, in order to make Tang Hao and Tang Xiao angry and forget to cooperate in fighting, so that he could take the opportunity to defeat them one by one. Otherwise, if he fights Tang Hao and Tang Xiao in their prime, although he is not afraid at all, it will probably affect the villagers in Hongping village, and it is very likely that the buildings in Hongping village will be destroyed. In that case, he would be embarrassed to ask the old village chief for treatment fees. You even have to pay compensation. Boom. I am going to kill you. Tang Hao was so angry that he almost bit his eyes to pieces. His eyes turned scarlet, and a powerful aura erupted, containing powerful killing intent. Tang Hao planned to directly reveal his soul ring, activate his martial soul, open the realm of the god of killing, and kill Long Xiaoyao. Run away. The villagers on one side felt Tang Hao's strong momentum and hurriedly ran away to prevent being involved. Chapter 14 Tang Xiao's suggestion, Long Xiaoyao's answer. Wait, second brother, don't be impulsive. Tang Xiao grabbed Tang Hao's hand in time and stopped Tang Hao. Brother, why are you stopping me? Tang Hao angrily asked Tang Xiao. Long Xiaoyao looks young, probably in his early 20s. He has already reached a contra level at such an age. He is definitely not a fuel-efficient lamp, and his background must be very powerful. He is most likely secretly trained by Wuhun Palace genius, although we 2 brothers are not afraid of him or the Wuhun Palace. We may not be able to defeat him in a short time. If Ah Yin takes the opportunity to escape, it will be more loss than gain. Tang Xiao explained that although he was also extremely angry, he was relatively calm. He knew that now was not the time to fight Long Xiao. When Tang Hao heard Tang Xiao's words, he nodded and did not continue to attack Long Xiao. Didn't you expect Tang Xiao to be quite calm? He is worthy of being the future master of the Haoshan sect. Long Xiao didn't expect that Tang Xiao would still be so calm at this time. When Ah Yin heard what Tang Hao and Tang Xiao said, and heard Long Xiao's thoughts, she suddenly panicked when she thought that the brothers and Long Xiao would most likely attack her first. Ah Yin, don't worry, I'm here, don't be afraid, I won't let them hurt you. Long Xiao stood in front of Ah Yin, with his back to Yin, facing Tang Hao and Tang Xiao directly, and said with great confidence. After hearing Long Xiao's words and looking at Long Xiao's back, Ah Yin felt more at ease than ever before and no longer panicked. Tang Xiao showed a fierce look and nodded towards Tang Hao. Tang Hao nodded along with understanding. Long Xiao, now that things have reached the current situation, let's stop beating around the bush. You must know that we brothers are the #1 sect in the Soul Master world, the Haoshan Devil Star of the Haoshan sect, right? Since you are Contra, you must have seen that Ah Yin is the transformation of the 10-year-old Blue-Silver Emperor. You must also be trying to get Ah Yin. We don't care what kind of force you are, our Haoshan sect is not afraid of you. Since your target and ours are both Ah Yin, why don't we seriously injure her first so that she can't escape? Otherwise, if she escapes while we are fighting, there will be no point in our fighting. Then we will follow the rules of the Soul Master world. The one who can win will have a showdown. Whoever wins can take Ah Yin away. How about that? Tang Xiao showed a confident smile and suggested to Long Xiao with a smile, but he looked a little wretched. Tang Xiao was really worried that Ah Yin would take advantage of the two brothers to fight Long Xiao and escape. Secondly, they were worried that Long Xiao would summon Little Hornet and escape with Ah Yin, but they would not be able to catch up with Little Hornet's speed. Not only would the two brothers lose the power to compete for Ah Yin, but it would also allow Long Xiao to come to the rescue as a hero and continue to deceive Ah Yin's trust. In the future, he will kill Ah Yin and obtain the Soul Ring and Soul Bone. Or just like their plan, they designed Ah Yin to sacrifice and obtain the most perfect Soul Ring and Soul Bone. That would be too cheap, Long Xiao. Tang Xiao believed that since he had moved out of Haoshan sect, Long Xiao would definitely agree to his suggestion, even if Long Xiao was from Wuhun Hall. After all, even the Wuhun Palace must give the Haoshan sect some face. Maybe after Long Xiao heard their names, he would be afraid of them and choose to quit. Even if Long Xiao is not afraid, as long as he joins forces with Tang Hao, he believes that Long Xiao will definitely not be their opponent. Just when Tang Xiao was making suggestions to Long Xiao, Tang Hao walked around silently and walked to the other side of the entrance to Lehumping village. Together with Tang Xiao, he surrounded Long Xiao and Ah Yin. Tang Hao showed wolf-like eyes and stared at Long Xiao and Ah Yin closely to prevent Long Xiao and Ah Yin from suddenly escaping. How to do? Hearing Tang Xiao's words and looking at the fierce-looking Tang Hao and Tang Xiao, Ah Yin panicked again. Although she is a soul beast, she also knows that the Haoshan sect is the largest sect of human soul masters, and that Tang Hao and Tang Xiao are the Haoshan twins who are famous in the soul master world. At first, when Ah Yin met Tang Hao and Tang Xiao, he saw that they were very kind and helpful. He thought they were good people, so he took the risk to act with them. Unexpectedly, Tang Hao and Tang Xiao, like other human soul masters, were only thinking about the soul rings and soul bones that she could provide to human soul masters. Although Ah Yin's intuition told her that Long Xiao would not hurt her and would also protect her. But she had heard that brothers Tang Hao and Tang Xiao could defeat all the soul masters under title Douluo by joining forces. She didn't know Long Xiao's strength, but she felt that Long Xiao should be a Contra-level soul master. She was worried that Long Xiao couldn't defeat Tang Hao and Tang Xiao and would be beaten to death by Tang Hao and Tang Xiao. She was also worried that even if Long Xiao had the strength to defeat Tang Hao and Tang Xiao, he would become enemies with the Haoshan sect and be chased to death by the Haoshan sect. She did not want to implicate Long Xiao, a kind and knowledgeable doctor. Stop talking nonsense. If you want to attack Ah Yin, just step over my body first. Long Xiao faced Tang Hao and Tang Xiao without any fear and spoke with certainty word by word. Hearing Long Xiao's firm tone, Ah Yin was very moved and became even more worried about Long Xiao. He didn't want to implicate Xiaoyao. Dragon, Xiaoyao, please stop acting. Both of us brothers have guessed that your purpose is the same as ours. Don't you just want to be a hero to save the beauty, gain a Yin's trust, and then engineer a Yin to willingly sacrifice to you in the future? After all, Ah Yin is not only very beautiful and has a very hot figure, but he is also very stupid, making him an excellent target for deception. Just when Ah Yin wanted to persuade Xiaoyao to run away quickly, but before he finished speaking, Tang Hao and Tang Xiao said as if they had seen through Xiaoyao. After finishing speaking, the two brothers glanced at Ah Yin's body with lewd eyes. He even stuck out his tongue and licked the corner of his mouth. Although the brothers are sure that they can defeat Xiaoyao and capture Ah Yin in their hands. But they don't want Xiaoyao to have a hero to save the beauty from death, and they also want to take off Xiaoyao's mask. Is Xiaoyao also acting? Ah Yin heard what Tang Hao and Tang Xiao said and looked at Xiaoyao's back with suspicion. Although she didn't want to admit it, she felt that what the brothers said made sense. After all, the 10-year-old soul ring and soul bones that a 10-year-old soul beast can produce are what all human soul masters pursue. Otherwise, she couldn't figure out why Xiaoyao cared so much about her, why Xiaoyao didn't hesitate to be enemies with Tang Hao and Tang Xiao, and the Haoshan sect to protect her. You are right, Ah Yin is indeed a bit stupid, otherwise he wouldn't have been deceived by you two hypocrites. Xiaoyao nodded. He fully agreed with Tang Hao and Tang Xiao's point of view. Cyrillic letter there. When Ah Yin heard Xiaoyao directly calling her stupid, she immediately felt very angry and wanted to rush forward and let Xiaoyao have a taste of her power. But this is also because Ah Yin is gentle and kind, and is particularly easy to trust others. I can't see that you two are acting like hypocrites. You can't blame her entirely. The only thing to blame is that your acting skills are so good that even I was almost deceived by you. Immediately afterwards, Xiaoyao added. When Ah Yin heard what Xiaoyao said, she immediately lost a lot of anger and began to worry about Xiaoyao again. But my purpose is different from that of you two hypocrites. I can't bear to see the gentle and kind-hearted Ah Yin being deceived by you and deceived by you in the future to become your soul ring and soul bone. That's why I used a trick to show you your true colors. I'm just an ordinary doctor. I don't have any power behind me. You don't have to worry about offending Wuhun Palace after killing me. Stop talking nonsense. If you want to catch Ah Yin, step over my body first. Immediately afterwards, Xiaoyao said with certainty, and at the same time, he was ready to fight. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 15 Battle with Haoshan Devil Star, Xiaoyao's first martial spirit. Xiaoyao, run away quickly, their target is me. There is no need for you to fight them for me, otherwise you will offend the Haoshan sect. As soon as Xiaoyao finished speaking, Ah Yin said to Xiaoyao. After listening to Xiaoyao's words, she thought that Xiaoyao was a good person who acted bravely and felt that Xiaoyao was doing it for her own good, but she didn't want to implicate Xiaoyao. Immediately afterwards, Ah Yin walked forward step by step, without any fear in his eyes, but with determination. At the same time, he mobilized his soul power, and a blue-golden shimmer appeared all over Ah Yin's body. Wherever the pair of jade feet passed, a blue-golden shimmer appeared on the ground, and blue-silver grass sprouted from the ground. Ah Yin is ready to fight Tang Hao and Tang Xiao at any time, and she wants to buy time for Xiaoyao to escape. Ah Yin is so kind and brave, it's already this time, but you still choose to delay time for me and let me escape. I must protect her. Xiaoyao looked at Ah Yin who had already walked beside him, and he became more determined on this idea. I said, if I want to catch you, step over my body first. Xiaoyao stretched out a hand, stopped Ah Yin, and spoke very firmly, word by word. Looking at Xiaoyao's big hands and listening to Xiaoyao's heartfelt words, Ah Yin was even more moved. It's just the Haoshan sect, I don't take it seriously at all, they're just two hypocrites, let me beat them down in minutes. Xiaoyao looked at Tang Hao and Tang Xiao and showed an evil smile. He was not afraid at all, but rather excited. I can't wait to taste what the soul power of Tang Rishan brothers tastes like. Could it be that Xiaoyao could still consume soul power? Hearing Xiaoyao's words, Ah Yin had a question mark on his face. Okay, If that's the case, then we brothers will do as you wish. Haoshan Hammer, Tang Hao and Tang Xiao felt very angry when they heard Long Xiaoyao calling them a hypocrite. Buzz! Before Tang Hao and Tang Xiao finished speaking, 7 soul rings, yellow, yellow, purple, purple, black, 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 rose rapidly under Tang Hao's feet. At the same time, under Tang Xiao's feet, the 7 soul rings of yellow, yellow, purple, purple, black, black and black also rose rapidly. Immediately afterwards, black light appeared in the hands of Tang Hao and Tang Xiao, and 2 black clear sky hammers with a length of about 2 meters appeared in their hands. With the appearance of the 2 clear sky hammers, the entire environment became somewhat depressing. Oh, he's actually so powerful. Ah Yin is now only a level 55 Soul King. Although he resisted with all his strength, he was somewhat unable to withstand the pressure of the clear sky hammer, and he couldn't control himself and took several steps backward. Ah Yin originally thought that he could escape from Tang Hao and Tang Xiao, but now he realized that this was a foolish dream. What? The villagers in Hongping village in the distance were completely unable to withstand the pressure of the clear sky hammer, and they were all pushed to the ground, unable to stand up. Go to hell! Tang Hao and Tang Xiao held the clear sky hammer in their hands and quickly rushed towards Long Xiaoyao. The first soul skill, Haoshan Hammer, in less than a second, he had arrived in front of Long Xiaoyao, attacking from both sides, and at the same time hitting Long Xiaoyao's head with a hammer. Long Xiaoyao, Ah Yin only reacted at this moment. When he wanted to help Long Xiaoyao, he found that it was too late and could only shout worriedly. However, Ah Yin did not sit still and wait for death, but rushed towards Long Xiaoyao, intending to help Long Xiaoyao. Long Xiaoyao looked at the 2 clear sky hammers that were already close at hand, showed a disdainful smile, and raised his hands calmly. Boom, boom. 2 loud noises were heard, and the powerful shock wave forced Ah Yin to be unable to move forward at all. The villagers were blown several meters away and rolled on the ground. What? Ah Yin looked at Long Xiaoyao and was shocked. How is this possible? Tang Hao and Tang Xiao looked at Long Xiaoyao and were even more shocked. Because they discovered that Long Xiaoyao didn't even activate his martial spirit, but only used 2 hands to defend against their first soul skill with all his strength. You must know that even Contra, which has extremely strong defense, cannot stop the 2 brothers from attacking with all their strength. Haha. The most powerful martial spirit in Douluo continent? The nemesis of all attack-type martial spirits? The Haoshan Double Star? That's all. Long Xiaoyao pressed against the 2 clear sky hammers, looked at Tang Hao and Tang Xiao, and said disdainfully. Buzz! As soon as Long Xiaoyao finished speaking, the red 8 soul rings suddenly rose under his feet. Then, behind Long Xiaoyao, there was a creature with a lion's head, antlers, tiger's eyes, a body, wind wings, an ox's tail, and a tail shaped like a dragon's tail. It had colorful hair patterns on its back and was covered with colorful armor. It looked very. The shadow of the domineering beast spirit suddenly appeared. It exudes a sacred atmosphere, is full of majesty, and is intimidating and respectful. The powerful aura caused all the villagers to faint and fall to the ground. This is Long Xiaoyao's #1 martial spirit, Maotu. Also known as the ancestor of Qilin, one of the ancestors of the mythical beast. Long Xiaoyao was promoted to Soul Saint a year ago, and absorbed the 10-year-old soul beast exchanged with God of Medicine points. When he awakened his 7th soul skill, he activated the Mao Calf bloodline. His physical strength was very strong, and he could even withstand ordinary people. Titled Douluo's attack. That's why Long Xiaoyao was able to catch Tang Hao and Tang Xiao's full blow just now with the strength of his arms. Is this the breath of an auspicious beast? Ah Yin looked at the aura emanating from the shadow of the furry calf behind Long Xiaoyao, and felt that it was very familiar to him and that of an auspicious beast. The auspicious beast is a special kind of soul beast. The aura it emits can speed up the cultivation speed of all soul beasts within the range. Ah Yin is a 10-year-old blue-silver emperor. Although the actual survival time is not 10 years, it is still tens of thousands of years. She had felt the aura of the auspicious beast before, and her cultivation speed had accelerated a lot, so she had never forgotten this aura. Could it be that Long Xiaoyao was the person transformed by Lord Rui Beast? No wonder I always feel that Long Xiaoyao has a particularly familiar feeling. No wonder Long Xiaoyao wants to protect me. No wonder Long Xiaoyao is so handsome. Ah Yin knew that it was impossible for human soul masters to exude the aura of auspicious beasts, which meant that Xiaoyao was an auspicious beast and belonged to the Soul Beast clan. Looking at Xiaoyao's back, she suddenly understood many things, and revealed smile. 8 10-year-old soul rings. Tang Xiao and Tang Xiao looked at the 8 dazzling red soul rings around Xiaoyao. They were extremely shocked and couldn't calm down for a long time. Who exactly are you? Tang Hao and Tang Xiao stared into Xiaoyao's eyes. He didn't believe that Xiaoyao was so powerful without any background. You must know that a 10-year soul ring is the dream of all soul masters, but Xiaoyao has already had a 10-year soul ring since his first soul ring. If they hadn't seen it with their own eyes, Tang Hao and Tang Xiao would never believe it. I am the one who wants your life, Xiaoyao said with a sneer, exuding strong killing intent. Tang Hao and Tang Xiao looked at Xiaoyao's eyes, feeling as if they were being targeted by death, and cold sweat broke out from their backs. No. Xiaoyao is devouring our soul power. Get back, Tang Xiao suddenly said in shock. He found that Xiaoyao was devouring the soul power on their clear sky hammer, and their clear sky hammer had shrunk a lot as a result, and was already less than 1 meter. This is because Xiaoyao just used it. The Maodo martial soul absorbed the 10-year-old gluttonous spirit. As a passive soul skill obtained after the 6th soul ring, swallow all things, it can devour the soul power of people who come into contact with it. Used by oneself, it is devoured extremely quickly. And if Xiaoyao wants to, he can even swallow the whole person directly. Tang Hao and Tang Xiao immediately stepped back to prevent their soul power from being devoured by Xiaoyao. Want to run? Can you run away? The first soul skill, the hairy calf arm, click click. Xiaoyao showed an evil smile, and the shadow of the furry calf behind him merged into his body, and his hands showed furry calf arms full of purple scales, with purple thunder and lightning flashing on them. Then Xiaoyao used his legs and quickly chased after Tang Hao and Tang Xiao. At the same time, deep in the Star Dao forest, in the Lake of Life, a beautiful girl with silver hair sitting at the bottom of the lake suddenly opened her eyes, revealing her purple eyes, which were full of shock. It's here again. This aura. It seems to be the dragon god. No, it seems to be more powerful than the breath of the dragon. Could it be that the god of soul beasts is more powerful than the dragon? After the shock, the girl was filled with joy. But I have never heard of a soul beast god more powerful than Shenlong. Who could it be? With doubts, the girl continued to sense. Chapter 16 Xiaoyao's second martial spirit destroys the clear sky hammer. Don't be too proud. We are Haoshin's twin stars. Boom, boom. Tang Hao and Tang Xiao were angry. They simultaneously exploded with more soul power. The clear sky hammer in their hands suddenly became larger, directly expanding to 3 meters, and their momentum became more powerful than before. At the same time, Tang Hao also opened the God of Death domain and wrapped Xiaoyao into the God of Death domain. He was surrounded by red murderous aura and his eyes became red. Is this the killing God domain? Too weak, being in Tang Hao's God of Killing domain, Xiaoyao felt nothing and still rushed towards Tang Hao and Tang Xiao quickly. Because Xiaoyao had activated Maodo's bloodline, he was now both a Contra with twin martial souls and the equivalent of an infant Maodo. Maodo is the ancestor of killing. Even though he is only in his infancy, it is not the realm of Shura God's God of Killing. Moreover, it is displayed by Tang Hao and can have an impact on Xiaoyao. You're not affected by my God of Killing domain at all. Tang Hao was shocked to see that Xiaoyao was not affected by the Killing God realm. You must know that even a titled Douluo will be more or less affected by his God of Death domain. Second brother, seeing that Tang Hao was stunned by Xiaoyao, Tang Xiao shouted loudly. Brother, let's take action together. Only then did Tang Hao come to his senses, nodded, and at the same time revealed his right arm soul bone and left leg bone, emitting a dazzling light, raising his strength to the extreme. It is good, cloak hammer technique. Immediately afterwards, Tang Hao and Tang Xiao wielded the clear sky hammer at the same time, attacking from the left and right, and once again rushed towards Xiaoyao, and at the same time used the random cloak hammer technique on Xiaoyao. If Tang Hao and Tang Xiao were to fight Xiaoyao alone, they would not choose to use the random cloak hammer method at this moment, because it takes too long to accumulate power, a total of 80 hammers. In that case, it is very likely that Xiaoyao will take advantage of the gap in the middle and find an opportunity to attack them. But the two brothers have long found a solution, that is, They constantly cross-attack each other so that there is no gap between attacks, and they buy time for each other to accumulate power. It's too late, it's too soon. Tang Xiao's first strike had already arrived in front of Long Xiaoyao. Long Xiaoyao did not dodge, and made a fist with his right hand, hitting Tang Xiao's clear sky hammer with one punch. Boom! With a loud noise, Long Xiaoyao knocked back Tang Xiao's clear sky hammer with one punch. At the same time, he took the opportunity to swallow a wave of Tang Xiao's soul power, and also used purple lightning to shock Tang Xiao. Long Xiaoyao's first soul ring was obtained by absorbing the God of Medicine gift package given by the system when he just crossed over, which contains a 10-year level purple electric unicorn. The passive is that the electric power of the purple electric unicorn is attached to the attack, which can further cause damage to the enemy. But before giving Long Xiaoyao time to breathe, Tang Hao had already arrived in front of Long Xiaoyao, and his first hammer hit Long Xiaoyao from another direction. Being shocked by the purple lightning, Tang Xiao felt very numb and painful, but he did not dare to stop. Otherwise, once he gave Long Xiaoyao a chance to breathe, he believed that Long Xiaoyao would definitely launch a powerful attack on the two brothers. They really didn't know for sure. Be sure to be able to withstand it. So Tang Xiao could only endure the burning pain and prepare for the second blow. At the same time, Long Xiaoyao made a fist with his left hand and punched Tang Hao's clear sky hammer. Boom! There was a loud noise. Although Tang Hao had 2 soul bones to strengthen his strength, he was not as powerful as Long Xiaoyao. Long Xiaoyao also repelled Tang Hao's clear sky hammer and also took the opportunity to swallow a wave of Tang Hao's soul power. Tang Hao was shocked. Tang Hao also felt very numb and painful, but he did not dare to stop and continued to swing the clear sky hammer, preparing for the second strike. At this time, Tang Xiao's second hammer had already hit Long Xiaoyao. Long Xiaoyao could only fight back. At first, Long Xiaoyao was able to repel Tang Hao and Tang Xiao's clear sky hammer, but since the brothers charged up to the number 60 hammer, the brothers' power was almost as strong as Long Xiaoyao's. After reaching the number 70 hammer, the power of Tang Hao and Tang Xiao had surpassed Long Xiaoyao's power. Long Xiaoyao was continuously forced back, leaving 2 deep marks on the ground. However, Long Xiaoyao had been taking advantage of the contact with Tang Hao and Tang Xiao's clear sky hammer to devour the soul power of Tang Hao and Tang Xiao and use purple electricity to electrocute the brothers. Ah Yin looked on, very worried. But she found that Tang Hao, Tang Xiao and Long Xiaoyao were too strong. She had no way to rush in and help Long Xiaoyao. She had tried her best just to resist the shock wave caused by the 3 people's battle, so she could only watch worriedly. In less than a minute, Tang Hao and Tang Xiao finally swung the hammers 80 times, and finally gathered their strength. They jumped high at the same time, swung the clear sky hammer with all their strength, and quickly attacked Long Xiaoyao. The entire space was suppressed, and wherever the clear sky hammer and Tang Hao and Tang Xiao's hands passed, the space became somewhat distorted, which showed that the random cloak hammer technique was very powerful. Long Xiaoyao, feeling the strength of Tang Hao and Tang Xiao's last blow, Ah Yin was extremely worried about Long Xiaoyao. Let me show you what is the most powerful weapon, Wuhun. Looking at Tang Hao and Tang Xiao who were attacking together, Long Xiaoyao showed a disdainful smile, opened his right hand, and a big sword about 2 meters long, covered in bright red and emitting blood red mist appeared in Long Xiaoyao's hand. The blade is bright red and looks like red crystal. It exudes a terrifying aura of destruction, which makes people feel fearful. With the appearance of this knife, the environment around Long Xiaoyao became depressing and gloomy, and even the temperature became colder. That's right, Long Xiaoyao is a twin martial spirit. This is Long Xiaoyao's second martial spirit, the God-destroying sword of destruction. However, Long Xiaoyao hasn't added soul rings to it yet, because he plans to absorb soul rings after reaching title Douluo. That's the best choice at first. Secondly, he is now a level 82 soul Douluo, and needs a lot of medical points to exchange for soul Douluo pills to upgrade his level. So he does not have so many divine medical points in front of him to exchange for 10-year level soul beasts to absorb. Although Long Xiaoyao's destruction god-killing sword has no soul ring and cannot perform soul skills, he has practiced a sword technique unique to the destruction god-slaying sword, the destruction sword technique. Long Xiaoyao was seen holding the god-destroying sword of destruction with his 2 furry arms, with his left foot in front and his right foot in the back. He stood in a half-crouch position, placing the tip of the knife on the ground, and stared at Tang Hao and Tang Xiao. At the same time, Long Xiaoyao began to inject soul power into the god-killing blade of destruction, and the blade lit up, emitting a dazzling red light. The red light also contained a powerful aura of destruction. There is actually a martial spirit. What kind of martial spirit is that? Is it so terrifying? Tang Hao, Tang Xiao and Ah Yin looked at the destruction god-killing sword in Long Xiaoyao's hand and felt the terrifying aura it exuded. Cold sweat broke out on their backs and they felt very frightened. Especially Tang Hao and Tang Xiao. When they looked into Long Xiaoyao's eyes and the god-killing blade of destruction, they felt as if they were being targeted by the god of death. They felt that something was very bad. They could only hope that Long Xiaoyao could not resist them. The brothers' random cloak hammering skills. Haoshan Hammer, Chaos Cloak Wind, Drink. At this time, Tang Hao and Tang Xiao had arrived in front of Long Xiaoyao together, and at the same time, they hammered Long Xiaoyao with all their strength. The secret of the sword technique of destruction, annihilation, Long Xiaoyao's expression did not change. He directly united his waist and horse, gathered all his strength in his hands, raised his sword with all his strength, and slashed at the clear sky hammer of Tang Hao and Tang Xiao. Zhang, the god-killing blade of destruction collided with the two clear sky hammers, making a deafening sound that made the earth tremble. However, even though Tang Hao and Tang Xiao had charged up the chaotic cloak hammer technique to number 80, their soul power was constantly being devoured by Long Xiaoyao, coupled with the consumption of using the chaotic cloak hammer technique, and the constant use by Long Xiaoyao purple lightning attack. The brothers' full blow at this moment was at least, % less powerful than in its normal state. Because Long Xiaoyao kept devouring the soul power of Tang Hao and Tang Xiao, he basically did not consume any soul power. Moreover, the quality of the god-destroying sword of destruction was far superior to the clear sky hammer, and annihilation was also far superior to the Luan cloak hammer technique. How could Hao and Tang Xiao withstand Long Xiaoyao's attack? Click click click, the two sides were in a stalemate for less than a second, and the clear sky hammers of Tang Hao and Tang Xiao were chopped into pieces by Long Xiaoyao. Chapter 17 The Despicable Tang Rishan Brothers. How can that be possible? Tang Hao and Tang Xiao looked at the broken clear sky hammer and were extremely shocked. Their eyes were so wide that they almost bulged out. They felt extremely unbelievable. However, no matter how hard Tang Hao and Tang Xiao find it unbelievable, this is the fact. Boom. Tang Hao and Tang Xiao's clear sky hammers shattered at the same time and turned into ashes. Tang Xiao's right hand and Tang Hao's left hand were both shattered and annihilated by Long Xiaoyao's attack, turning into ashes. What? Puff. Boom. Boom. Tang Hao and Tang Xiao screamed in pain at the same time, vomited 2 large mouthfuls of blood, and fell heavily to the ground at the same time, dragging them backwards, leaving 2 deep, bloody marks. In the middle of Tang Hao and Tang Xiao, there was a deep trace that reached 5 meters in depth and 5 meters in width, extending to a mile away. It was caused by the annihilation energy. Long Xiaoyao is too strong, as expected of the 10-year-old auspicious beast Sama. Ah Yin looked at Long Xiaoyao with admiration while resisting the powerful shock wave. She knew that the auspicious beast itself was very powerful, far surpassing all the soul beasts. She thought that Long Xiaoyao was a 10-year-old auspicious beast incarnate, that's why it was so powerful. Even the Haoshan Devil Star is no match at all, and Ah Yin particularly admires Long Xiaoyao. Tang Hao and Tang Xiao tried their best to stabilize their bodies, stood up desperately, and immediately used their remaining soul power to seal the blood vessels in the broken arm, preventing the blood from continuing to flow out and preventing excessive blood loss. I said before, the Haoshan Devil Star is nothing more than this. I can defeat you in minutes. Long Xiaoyao held the god-killing saber of destruction and walked towards Tang Hao and Tang Xiao step by step, with a playful smile on his face. Tell me, how do you want to die? Long Xiaoyao was thinking about how to kill Tang Hao and Tang Xiao, because if they were killed with just one blow, it would be too easy for them. Seeing Long Xiaoyao pressing closer and closer, Tang Hao and Tang Xiao felt very frightened and retreated uncontrollably. After the previous fight, they knew that they were no match for Long Xiaoyao. It would take at least 2 more title Douluo, or a peak title Douluo above level 96 to suppress Long Xiaoyao. Ah Yin looked at Tang Hao and Tang Xiao who were in a very embarrassed state, with no mercy in her eyes, not because Tang Hao and Tang Xiao were targeting her, but because of Long Xiaoyao. Ah Yin was worried that Tang Hao and Tang Xiao would see that Long Xiaoyao was the auspicious beast incarnate. If Tang Hao and Tang Xiao spread the news, Long Xiaoyao would be besieged by all human soul masters. because as far as Ah Yin knows, the current overall strength of human soul masters is at an upper hand compared to soul beasts. But once auspicious beasts appear in the soul beast family, the cultivation speed of all soul beasts will be much faster, which means that the overall strength of the soul beasts will increase rapidly in a short period of time. Human soul masters will definitely not allow auspicious beasts to live. They will definitely use all your strength to encircle and suppress Xiaoyao. Brother, help me buy some time, Buzz. Suddenly, Tang Hao shouted at Tang Xiao, and at the same time, the 7 soul rings of yellow, yellow, purple, purple, black, black, and black rose up again under his feet. The 2 brothers were at the end of their rope, and now there was only one way. It is good, Buzz. Tang Xiao nodded understandingly, and the 7 soul rings of yellow, yellow, purple, purple, black, black, and black slowly rose again under his feet. The 7th soul skill, Martial Soul Avatar. After mobilizing his remaining soul power in a sneak attack, Tang Xiao used his Martial Soul Avatar with all his strength and condensed an extra-large clear sky hammer. Tang Xiao held the clear sky hammer in his left hand and rushed towards Xiaoyao without saying a word. He could not give Xiaoyao time to accumulate power, because he knew that he would not be able to withstand Xiaoyao's annihilation. Good come, Xiaoyao felt that Tang Hao and Tang Xiao had been seriously injured and were at the end of the road, so he planned to fight to the death. Suddenly he felt that they were quite brave, so he smiled, held the god-killing sword of destruction, and faced Tang Xiao loudly. Soon, Xiaoyao started fighting with Tang Xiao. Although Tang Xiao was completely suppressed by Xiaoyao, and his injuries continued to worsen, Tang Xiao did not defend, but kept attacking Xiaoyao, not giving Xiaoyao any chance. Take any respite. Drink. At the same time, Tang Hao had summoned 7 soul rings, rose into the air, raised his remaining right hand high, used all his strength, and roared desperately boom. Immediately afterwards, the 7th soul ring on the outermost edge of Tang Hao's body exploded directly and turned into a huge amount of soul power. It gathered into Tang Hao's hand and condensed into a 5-meter-high clear sky hammer, exuding terror momentum boom. Immediately afterwards, the outermost 6th soul ring around Tang Hao exploded directly, turning into a huge amount of soul power, which converged into the clear sky hammer in Tang Hao's hand. The clear sky hammer directly expanded to 10 meters in size, and its momentum even more terrifying boom. Then comes the 5th soul ring. Is that the legendary ring explosion? It's bad. Ah Yin looked at Tang Hao's continuously exploding soul rings and suddenly panicked. She had heard that Tang Hao knew a special skill called Drashumi Punch, which allowed him to gain super combat power by blowing up soul rings. Tang Hao even defeated a level 91 titled Douluo with a level of Soul Saint by relying on the explosive ring that was beaten by Dazumi. Rui, Xiaoyao, Tang Hao is about to use the Great Sumeru Punch. That is his famous stunt. He can defeat a titled Douluo at the level of a Soul Saint. Stop him quickly, Ah Yin shouted desperately at Xiaoyao. Originally, she wanted to call Xiaoyao the master of the auspicious beast, but now she was not sure whether Tang Hao and Tang Xiao saw that Xiaoyao was the auspicious beast, so she quickly changed her tune. No wonder you tried your best to stop me. It turned out to be to buy time for Tang Hao to use the Great Sumeru Hammer, Xiaoyao said to Tang Xiao calmly while fighting with Tang Xiao. He had long known that Tang Xiao was stalling for time, and guessed that Tang Hao was going to use the Great Sumeru Punch that killed a titled Douluo and seriously injured Jin's Unji with 1 against 3. The reason why he pretended not to know anything and fought with Tang Xiao was that he deliberately allowed Tang Hao to accumulate strength and wanted to test how powerful Tang Hao's Asumu Pound was. Now that I know it's too late, I won't let you go over and interrupt the second brother. Tang Xiao thought Xiaoyao was scared, so he showed a proud smile and continued to attack Xiaoyao boom. At this time, Tang Hao's last first soul ring exploded and turned into a huge amount of soul power, which converged into the clear sky hammer in Tang Hao's hand, and the clear sky hammer also expanded to 40 meters. The sky then darkened, and the entire space became extremely depressing. Lord Auspicious Beast, looking at the huge clear sky hammer, Ah Yin was very worried about Xiaoyao. If she hadn't transformed, she would have been able to withstand it, but now she couldn't even get close to Xiaoyao, so she could only worry on the side. Watch. Have you finally gathered your strength? Noticing that Tang Hao had already accumulated strength, Xiaoyao smiled boom. Xiaoyao kicked Tang Xiao away, and then looked at Tang Hao. Boom. Puff. Tang Xiao fell heavily to the ground, creating a big crater and spitting out a mouthful of blood. Come on, Tang Rishan. Long Xiaoyao showed an excited smile and planned to use annihilation with all his strength. Big Sumi thump. Tang Hao didn't say any more nonsense and just hit it with all his strength. However, Tang Hao's target was not Long Xiaoyao, but Ah Yin. Because after the fight with Long Xiaoyao just now, he was not sure that his big Sumeru hammer could defeat Long Xiaoyao's annihilation, but his soul power had been exhausted, and he only had one chance to attack. Tang Hao still thinks that Long Xiaoyao wants to be a hero to save the beauty and deceive Ah Yin's trust. So Tang Hao chose to attack Ah Yin, just to let Long Xiaoyao save Ah Yin, so that he would have no time to accumulate energy and prepare for annihilation. Wakao. As expected of the Tang Rishan brothers. How despicable. Realizing that the target of Tang Hao's attack was Ah Yin, Long Xiaoyao smacked his tongue and cursed, put away the god-killing saber of destruction, condensed the fiery red phoenix wings, and rushed towards Ah Yin quickly. Chapter 18 Haoshan twin stars fled in embarrassment. Ah Yin had no idea that Tang Hao's target would be her. She looked at the huge clear sky hammer pressing towards her and felt the powerful pressure of the clear sky hammer. She was stunned. The third soul skill, blue-silver body shield, blue-silver domain. However, Ah Yin did not sit still and immediately used his third soul skill and at the same time launched a blue-silver domain. A huge, blue-gold defensive shield formed instantly, covering Ah Yin's entire body. Within the defensive barrier, blue-silver grasses that were much larger than Ah Yin rose up from the ground and entwined with each other, holding up the entire defensive barrier and wrapping Ah Yin's entire body. Ah Yin nervously looked at the huge clear sky hammer that was falling rapidly. She felt that her defense could not withstand it, but she did not give up. She was going to fight. Lord Auspicious Beast. Just when Ah Yin was very nervous, she suddenly found Long Xiaoyao waving his phoenix wings and coming to her. Ah Yin was shocked and very happy. She knew that Long Xiaoyao came to protect her. But Ah Yin was more worried. She was worried that Long Xiaoyao wouldn't be able to withstand Tang Hao's massive pounding. If Long Xiaoyao dies, she will be the sinner of all soul beasts, no, sinners. The third soul skill, the dazzling golden shield. After arriving in front of Ah Yin, looking at the Haoshan hammer falling rapidly, Long Xiaoyao immediately used the third soul skill, the golden shield, obtained by absorbing the 10-year level Zuanwu as the third soul ring boom. Huge soul power burst out from Long Xiaoyao's body and quickly condensed into a dazzling golden shield with a diameter of more than 20 meters in front of Long Xiaoyao boom. The clear sky hammer hit the golden shield heavily, causing a deafening explosion that resounded through the sky and made the entire sky and earth tremble. Originally, if Long Xiaoyao had enough time to condense the complete dazzling gold shield, the dazzling gold shield would definitely be able to withstand Tang Hao's heavy blows without being damaged. But because time was so urgent, Long Xiaoyao didn't have that much time to condense a complete golden shield. He only condensed a golden shield that was just enough to withstand Tang Hao's big Sumeru hammer boom. Not long after the stalemate between the clear sky hammer and the golden shield, they both shattered and exploded. What? Puff! The powerful explosion shock wave sent Tang Hao and Long Xiaoyao flying backwards in the opposite direction. Long Xiaoyao's phoenix wings were also scattered by the powerful shock wave. Both of them received a very powerful impact, felt great pain, and both spat out a mouthful of blood. However, compared to Tang Hao, Long Xiaoyao felt much less pain and spurted blood. Lord Auspicious Beast. Ah Yin rushed out of the blue-silver protective shield desperately, rushed towards Long Xiaoyao, hugged Long Xiaoyao tightly from behind, and flew backwards with Long Xiaoyao so soft, so comfortable. Feeling the softness coming from his back, Long Xiaoyao suddenly felt no pain at all and showed a happy smile. Although hearing Long Xiaoyao's inner voice made Ah Yin a little shy, Ah Yin no longer cared about so much. Long Xiaoyao's safety was the most important, so she immediately mobilized her soul power. Immediately afterwards, huge blue-silver grasses rose up from the ground, intertwining with each other to form dozens of large nets. At the same time, Tang Xiao tried his best to catch the half-dead Tang Hao, and then the two brothers quickly fled towards the distance without looking back. Tang Hao and Tang Xiao knew their current state. Not to mention Long Xiaoyao, even Ah Yin couldn't beat them. Now the only option is to take advantage of this opportunity to escape, otherwise today next year will be their death anniversary. Click click. At the same time, Ah Yin hugged Long Xiaoyao tightly and hit the net directly, breaking through the big nets. It wasn't until the last big net was opened that Ah Yin finally stopped holding Long Xiaoyao and landed smoothly on the ground. Ah Yin knelt down on her knees and let Long Xiaoyao lean on her jade legs. She held the back of Long Xiaoyao's head with her left hand and her left shoulder with her right hand. Lord Ruju, are you okay? Hearing Long Xiaoyao's inner voice, Ah Yin felt a little angry and a little shy, but she didn't care about it anymore. She looked into Long Xiaoyao's eyes and asked worriedly. Because instead of being angry and shy, Ah Yin is now more worried about Long Xiaoyao's injury. What? After hearing Ah Yin's question, Long Xiaoyao reacted. I didn't expect Ah Yin to actually recognize me as an auspicious beast. Long Xiaoyao knew that Maodo was the ancestor of Qilin, and he was now equivalent to Maodo in its infancy, and could also be regarded as an auspicious beast. But when Long Xiaoyao was watching Douluo, it seemed that there were no auspicious beasts in the original work. If there were, the Soul Beast clan would not be hunted down by human soul masters everywhere. He recognized Ah Yin as an auspicious beast, very surprised. Long Xiaoyao is indeed Lord Auspicious Beast. Hearing Long Xiaoyao's inner voice, Ah Yin was even more certain that Long Xiaoyao was an auspicious beast. I am fine, Long Xiaoyao said, standing up directly from Ah Yin's jade legs. Long Xiaoyao's second soul ring is the absorption of the 10-year-old Suzaku. His passive skill is automatic recovery. As long as it is not a fatal injury, he can recover in a short time. Long Xiaoyao had just recovered from the damage caused by the shock wave caused by the explosion. Although it was very comfortable to be on Ah Yin's lap, Long Xiaoyao still had more important things to do now, which was to catch the seriously injured Tang Hao and Tang Xiao, and then think about how to kill them, and not let them die. So relaxing. Actually escaped. Long Xiaoyao immediately looked towards where Tang Hao and Tang Xiao had been, only to find that the two brothers had completely disappeared, leaving only traces of the battle just now. Long Xiaoyao immediately launched a mental investigation, but found that within a radius of 3 miles, Tang Hao and Tang Xiao had disappeared. He knew that Tang Hao and Tang Xiao must have hidden their auras and escaped. Lord Auspicious Beast, let's catch up quickly. Otherwise, if Tang Hao and Tang Xiao run away and tell the truth about Lord Auspicious Beast's appearance, Lord Auspicious Beast, you will be in danger. By then, all human soul masters will I'm here to hunt you down. Ah Yin came to Long Xiaoyao's side and urged Long Xiaoyao anxiously. It's too late. They have already escaped and hid their breath. We can't catch up with them. Long Xiaoyao spread his hands and said calmly, while taking back the Maodo martial spirit. Long Xiaoyao thought for a while and thought it would be better if Tang Hao and Tang Xiao escaped. After all, he had already taken off the false masks of Tang Hao and Tang Xiao, successfully rescued Ah Yin, seriously injured Tang Hao and Tang Xiao, and disabled Tang Hao's left hand and Tang Xiao's right hand. This was more uncomfortable for them than killing Tang Hao and Tang Xiao directly. It was a heavy punishment for them, and it would not be too late to kill Tang Hao and Tang Xiao in the future. Secondly, Long Xiaoyao wanted to know if Tang Hao and Tang Xiao had not deceived Ah Yin, and whether Tang Hao could still give birth to Tang San. If possible, he would really like to uncover Tang San's false mask like he did today. Because he felt that Tang San and Tang Hao were hypocrites and scumbags just like Tang Xiao. Otherwise, in the original work, why would Tang San take Xiao Wu to the Spirit City where there are many titled Douluo to participate in the Spirit Master competition, even though he knew that Xiao Wu was a spirit beast? Why did he go to find Xiao Wu when he just reached level? And why did he let Ho Wu and Meng Yiren kiss him even though he said he only liked Xiao Wu? Then what should we do? They will definitely bring more and stronger people to capture you, Lord Ruju. It's all my fault. If I hadn't been in the way, Master Ru Xiao wouldn't have gotten hurt trying to protect me, let alone let them escape. Ah Yin was very anxious and blamed herself, and was about to cry. At the same time, deep in the Star Dao forest, in the Lake of Life, it disappeared so soon. The silver-haired girl was a little annoyed. She originally wanted to look for the aura just now and find the place where Long Xiaoyao was. But fortunately, I have sensed the specific location of the Lord Soul Beast God. The silver-haired girl looked in the direction of Hongping village, showed a bright smile, then jumped up and swam to the surface of the Lake of Life. Chapter 19 Gifts. You are such a kind and lovely idiot. I am now a level 82 soul Douluo. I can hide the spirit beast's aura. Tang Hao and Tang Xiao didn't realize that I was an auspicious beast at all. Their target has been you from beginning to end. They thought my target was you just like them. They will never let you go. They will definitely bring people to find you again. How can you still worry about me now?" Seeing Ah Yin's anxious look blaming herself, Long Xiaoyao smiled and cursed. After hearing Long Xiaoyao's words, Ah Yin remembered that Long Xiaoyao had now reached maturity. Even a titled Douluo could not tell that Long Xiaoyao was an auspicious beast. She felt that Tang Hao and Tang Xiao should not have discovered that Long Xiaoyao was an auspicious beast. The beast was gone, so he breathed a sigh of relief. Ah Yin didn't care about her safety at all, and it wasn't that she didn't care about her own safety, but she was more worried about Long Xiaoyao's safety than her own safety. Ah Yin's IQ was originally low, but now that he's anxious, it's even lower. He even forgets that he's safe. Fortunately, I met him, otherwise I would have been deceived by the Tang Rishan brothers. Looking at Ah Yin, who is relaxing, Long Xiaoyao smiled. "My IQ is not low, hum." When Ah Yin heard Long Xiaoyao's thoughts, she puffed up her cheeks and stamped her feet in anger, but she did not scold Long Xiaoyao. Yu Qing, Long Xiaoyao had just saved Ah Yin. He was Ah Yin's savior, no, his savior. Yu Li, Long Xiaoyao is an auspicious beast. Because of the auspicious beast's special abilities, for the soul beast, the auspicious beast is the supreme existence, and all soul beasts respect the auspicious beast. Moreover, Ah Yin is gentle and kind, so why would she scold Long Xiaoyao? But just now I removed one of their arms, severely injured them, and rescued you. They probably won't let me go either. Long Xiaoyao showed an evil smile. Instead of feeling scared, he was actually a little excited. Because he found that Tang Hao and Tang Xiao's soul power tasted pretty good, he felt that the soul power of the Haoshan sect's people should also taste pretty good. Moreover, the strength he showed just now is just the tip of the iceberg of his current strength. He still has many trump cards that he has not used. He hopes that Tang Hao and Tang Xiao can bring more powerful people to him. What, then we are in danger. What should we do next? Hearing Long Xiaoyao's words, Ah Yin suddenly became nervous. Lord Ru Xiao, how about we go back to the Star Dao Forest? Although there are few 10-year-old soul beasts there are many soul beasts. And as long as you give the order, all the soul beasts will definitely unite. By then, even if all the human soul masters come, we can fight it. Ah Yin thought about it and immediately suggested Long Xiaoyao. No need, Tang Hao and Tang Xiao will never publicize what happened between you and me, because they don't want other forces to capture you. That will only make other forces stronger. They won't do that. What a stupid thing. They will definitely send people from the Haoshan sect to catch us, but this is exactly what I want. I can also take the opportunity to devour their soul power for my own use, as long as they don't send peak Douluo above level 96. They are just here to kill me, and even if a peak Douluo is sent here, I am sure that I can escape. Long Xiaoyao showed an evil smile. Although it was said that he could increase his level by devouring soul power, as a doctor, he did not devour soul power when he saw a soul master. He would only devour those who wanted to kill him of soul power. Moreover, it is much faster for Long Xiaoyao to use medical god points to exchange soul Douluo pills for leveling up than devouring soul power to level up, so he becomes a traveling doctor who treats illnesses and saves people. Ah Yin nodded. He felt that what Long Xiaoyao said made sense, and that Long Xiaoyao was indeed very strong. Ah Yin, please come with me. You haven't reached maturity yet. It's too dangerous to act alone. How about the two of us acting together so we can take care of each other? Long Xiaoyao asked Ah Yin with a smile. Okay, hearing Long Xiaoyao's suggestion, Ah Yin felt extremely happy and nodded immediately. Great, I finally have a beautiful woman by my side. Long Xiaoyao showed a happy smile. He has been alone for the past 5 years. With Ah Yin by my side now, my future life will definitely be much more colorful. It's better not to do it. Tang Hao and Tang Xiao's main target is me, and the Haoshan sect will definitely pursue me with all their strength, and I haven't reached the mature stage yet. If I encounter a soul Douluo or a title Douluo from another force, I will bring endless trouble to you, Mr. Rushu, Ah Yin said with some helplessness, not because of Long Xiaoyao's inner voice. She was worried that Long Xiaoyao would do anything to her on the way. Long Xiaoyao is an auspicious beast. No matter what Long Xiaoyao wants her to do, she will never refuse. Ah Yin was really worried that it would bring trouble to Long Xiaoyao. Long Xiaoyao is handsome, knowledgeable in medicine, and very powerful. Ah Yin actually wants to be by Long Xiaoyao's side. but she was really worried that if she acted with Long Xiaoyao, she would harm Long Xiaoyao. I told you, it's just the Haotian sect, I don't take it seriously at all, I will kill as many of them as they come to hunt you, Long Xiaoyao said to Ah Yin confidently, not being angry or assertive. As for the second point, you don't have to worry at all, you see what this is. As Long Xiaoyao said that, he took out the reward he received in Emperor's Soul Village from the space ring. He put the purple spirit cloud hairpin on his right hand and placed it in front of Ah Yin. So beautiful, looking at the extremely delicate, purple-colored purple spirit cloud hairpin that exuded purple light, Ah Yin's eyes suddenly lit up. He liked it very much and wanted to get it in his hands to take a closer look. This is the purple spirit cloud hairpin. It can create a special barrier and can cover up your soul beast aura. Even a peak Douluo will not be able to discover that you are a soul beast, and it can also block the attacks of us soul masters below titled Douluo, Long Xiaoyao explained with a smile. Gave it to you. After saying that, Long Xiaoyao handed the purple spirit cloud hairpin to Yin. No, this purple spirit cloud hairpin is too valuable. Master Rushu, you should keep it for yourself. Ah Yin waved her hands and refused, saying that although she wanted it very much, she couldn't have it. Because Long Xiaoyao had just rescued her, she was really embarrassed to accept such an expensive gift. And Ah Yin felt that Long Xiaoyao needed this purple spirit cloud hairpin more than she did. It's given to you. Just take it and don't talk so much, Long Xiaoyao said sternly and directly put the purple spirit cloud hairpin into Yin's hand. Do you want you to follow me in the future, encounter a Contra or a titled Douluo, be recognized by them, and then hunt us? Or do you want me to use my identity as an auspicious beast to order you, so you are willing to accept it? Ah Yin was about to say something, but before she could say it, Long Xiaoyao said sharply. Looking at Long Xiaoyao's serious face, Ah Yin understood that Long Xiaoyao was doing it for her own good, and she was very moved. Thank you, Lord Rushu. Long Xiaoyao had already said this, and Ah Yin couldn't refuse, so he thanked her gratefully. Then Ah Yin looked at the purple spirit cloud hairpin in her hand with shining eyes and found that it was indeed so beautiful. She liked it very much. In the future, whether in private or in front of others, don't call me Lord Rushu. Call me Long Xiaoyao. I will also call you by your name directly. Long Xiaoyao said to Yin that he didn't like Ah Yin calling him Lord Auspicious Beast, as that would create a sense of distance. Ah Yin nodded, his eyes still staring at the purple spirit cloud hairpin. Do you like this purple spirit hairpin? Long Xiaoyao asked with a smile. Ah Yin nodded, his eyes still staring at the purple spirit cloud hairpin. Shall I put it on for you? Long Xiaoyao asked. Hearing Long Xiaoyao's words, Ah Yin looked at Long Xiaoyao in surprise, because that would make Long Xiaoyao touch her hair. A woman's hair can only be touched by the man she likes. Chapter 20. Let me cook noodles for you to eat. Are there flowers on my face? Why is Ah Yin looking at me like this? Long Xiaoyao was a little confused. He didn't understand why Yin looked at him like this. After he traveled to Douluo continent, he never had a girlfriend and didn't know about it. He thought he was just helping Yin wear a purple spirit cloud hairpin, nothing more. He thinks that only if a woman is willing to let a man comb her hair, it means she likes her and is willing to trust her. After hearing Long Xiaoyao's thoughts, Ah Yin thought for a moment, nodded with a smile, and handed the purple spirit cloud hairpin to Long Xiaoyao. Long Xiaoyao took the purple spirit cloud hairpin and took the initiative to take 2 steps closer to Ah Yin. He was less than 20 centimeters away from Ah Yin. Then he raised his hand, ready to help Ah Yin put on the purple spirit cloud hairpin. Looking at Long Xiaoyao's hands, Ah Yin felt a little nervous and shy, and her cheeks on both sides were slightly red, like 2 peach blossoms in bud. In order to cooperate with Long Xiaoyao, Ah Yin took the initiative to lower her head towards Long Xiaoyao so that Long Xiaoyao could help her put on the purple spirit cloud hairpin. Seeing Ah Yin's cooperation, Long Xiaoyao first selected the most suitable place to wear the purple spirit hairpin based on Ah Yin's hairstyle. Then Long Xiaoyao gently pushed aside Ah Yin's hair and smoothed it down so that he could wear the purple spirit hairpin. Ah Yin's hair is so soft. This was Long Xiaoyao's most intuitive feeling after coming into contact with Ah Yin's hair. Of course it is. I take good care of it every day. Hearing Long Xiaoyao's thoughts, Ah Yin showed a sweet smile. Ah Yin, I'm going to insert the hairpin. If it hurts, you have to tell me. After smoothing his hair, Long Xiaoyao whispered to Yin. This was the first time Long Xiaoyao helped a girl insert hairpins, and he was worried that he would hurt Ah Yin. Feeling Long Xiaoyao's tenderness, Ah Yin said softly, showing a crescent-like smile. After receiving Ah Yin's answer, Long Xiaoyao aimed at the bun and inserted it carefully. Although it was his first time, Long Xiaoyao was a doctor and had done many operations that required hands-on work. It could be said that he was very dexterous and he inserted it perfectly in one go. Okay, let me take a look. After inserting it, Long Xiaoyao took 2 steps back and said to Yin. Hearing Long Xiaoyao's words, Ah Yin nodded, and then slowly raised his head. Wow! The moment he saw Ah Yin again, Long Xiaoyao was stunned and stared at Ah Yin intently. The purple spirit cloud hairpin is a perfect match for Ah Yin, which immediately elevates Ah Yin's temperament to a new level, making him look even more noble and divine. Auspicious beast, Long Xiaoyao, how are you? Does it look good? Ah Yin showed a smile and asked Long Xiaoyao expectantly. Although she knew Long Xiaoyao's answer based on the way Long Xiaoyao looked at her, she still wanted Long Xiaoyao to tell her personally. It's so beautiful. Ah Yin, you are even more beautiful than a fairy, Long Xiaoyao praised Ah Yin without exaggeration. Are you exaggerating too much? Ah Yin asked with a smile. No, it's not an exaggeration at all. You are really more beautiful than the fairy, Long Xiaoyao said with certainty, looking at Ah Yin so close and smelling Ah Yin's special body fragrance. His blood was boiling now, and he had an indescribable impulse. Ah Yin heard Long Xiaoyao's words and saw Long Xiaoyao's serious look. She was very happy. The corners of her mouth were always raised, but her teeth were not exposed. She looked beautiful, charming, generous and noble. No, I can't continue watching, otherwise I won't be able to help but touch Ah Yin. Let's clear away the traces of the battle first, and then wake up the villagers. Long Xiaoyao turned his head directly. While calming his restless heart and boiling blood, he walked towards the place where the traces of the battle just left were. Although Long Xiaoyao knew that even if he wanted to do something to Ah Yin would not refuse. But Long Xiaoyao didn't want Ah Yin to agree to let him do something because he was a little kid, but he wanted Ah Yin to really fall in love with him and then do something to Ah Yin. Giggle. Hearing Long Xiaoyao's heartfelt words, Ah Yin knew that Long Xiaoyao was not a person motivated by sex. She was very happy and couldn't help laughing, and quickly covered her jade mouth with her jade hands. Long Xiaoyao, let me help you. Ah Yin immediately followed Long Xiaoyao. Men and women match, work is not tired. It only took Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin less than 5 minutes to fill up all the big holes, deep marks, etc. caused by the battle just now. Later, Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin woke up the villagers and briefly explained that Tang Hao and Tang Xiao coveted Ah Yin's beauty and were jealous of Long Xiaoyao, so they took advantage of the giant Wei Xiaoxi powder and wanted to put the blame on Long Xiaoyao. Has now been beaten away by Long Xiaoyao. Immediately after receiving the reward from the old village chief of Hongping village, Long Xiaoyao summoned Little Harnett and carried Ah Yin to the next village. More than 3 hours later, Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin cured the villagers of another village. It was already dusk, the sun was setting and the moon was starting to rise. Long Xiaoyao was driving the Little Hornet, facing the bright red sunshine, driving Ah Yin to the next village grunt. After working hard all day, Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin's stomachs began to growl. What a shame. No, it's really a shame. Ah Yin, who was sitting in the passenger seat and admiring the beautiful scenery, suddenly turned red. She didn't dare to move, let alone look directly into Long Xiaoyao's eyes, for fear that Long Xiaoyao would laugh at her. I didn't expect that. Ah Yin's belly growled louder than mine. Ha ha ha, Long Xiaoyao smiled. He didn't say it directly, but he didn't expect that Ah Yin also heard it. I knew I should have eaten more this morning. What a shame. Ah Yin was a little helpless. In order to rush on her way in the morning, she rushed directly to Emperor Soul village without eating a few bites of food. It's getting late now. Let's go to the next village tomorrow. Let's go wherever the scenery is good. I'll cook noodles for you to eat. Long Xiaoyao pointed to a high mountain with a waterfall below and said with a smile. Can you still cook noodles? Ah Yin asked Long Xiaoyao in surprise. She didn't expect that Long Xiaoyao would still get down. Of course, the noodles I cook are delicious. You will be in a good mood tonight. No, in the future, Long Xiaoyao said proudly. When he first came to Douluo continent, Long Xiaoyao found that the people here ate very blandly and did not even add chili peppers. He was very unaccustomed to the food here, since he seldom cooked in his previous life. Not long after he traveled here, He used the medical points he saved to exchange for a copy of Chinese cuisine encyclopedia. He usually cooks by himself, and over time his cooking skills have improved. Reached the level of god of cooking. He believed that Ah Yin would definitely fall in love with his noodles once. Oh. Then I'm going to have a good taste. Seeing how confident Long Xiaoyao was, Ah Yin was immediately full of expectations. Then Long Xiaoyao drove the little hornet and flew to the grass beside the pool in the high mountain. After landing, Long Xiaoyao first put away the little wasp, and then took out the electric stove, pots and pans, noodles and various condiments. What is this? Looking at the modern kitchen utensils that she had never seen before, Ah Yin had a question mark on her face. This is an electric stove. It uses electricity to generate heat. It is not only convenient, but also generates enough heat to better control the heat, Long Xiaoyao patiently explained to Ah Yin. Oh, Ah Yin nodded as if she understood. She thought this was a new thing invented by humans. Ah Yin, the water in the pool is quite clean. Why don't you take a bath first? After you finish taking a shower, I'll almost make the noodles and we can start eating, Long Xiaoyao suggested Ah Yin Dao. What? Ah Yin was shocked when he heard Long Xiaoyao's suggestion. Chapter 21 Yuena and number 039, S Decision. Deep in the Star Forest, a dangerous place, next to the Lake of Life, 5 tall, muscular men, and 2 women who were as beautiful as gods. If you look closely, they were even more beautiful than Ah Yin. They were standing in a row respectfully. In front of them was a beautiful woman with bright silver hair that reached her ankles, slightly pale white skin, and purple eyes. The silver-haired woman was so beautiful that no words could describe her beauty. Even though she was only wearing an ordinary white shirt, she still looked sexy, noble, and inviolable. The 2 beautiful women were eclipsed in front of the silver-haired woman, and they could only become the green leaves that set off the silver-haired woman. This silver-haired woman is none other than the Silver Dragon King, Yuena. In front of Yuena, there was a head about 1 meter long, covered with a layer of golden, translucent crystal-like hair. Under the hair, there were actually fine golden scales. The overall shape is very similar to a lion, but the 4 claws are like dragons, and there is a ball of golden flames under each dragon claw. It has 2 eyes that shine with a golden light, and there is a 3rd eye with a vertical pupil on its forehead. But the color emitted from this vertical pupil was red, with a somewhat eerie red color. It is the auspicious beast of the Star Dao Forest, the 3-eyed golden leopard. My lord, have you also sensed that there is a very powerful auspicious beast outside, Don, who is wearing a black robe? Asked Yuena with a shocked look on his face. The other 6 ferocious beasts also looked at Yuena in shock. Originally, the 3-eyed golden beast had just told the 7 people of Emperor Don that he had sensed the aura of a very powerful auspicious beast outside, and said that he wanted to go out to find the auspicious beast and bring it back to help Yuena heal his injuries. But the 7 ferocious beasts of Emperor Don did not believe it, because they knew that there was only one auspicious beast in Douluo continent, and that was the 3-eyed golden beast, and there was no way that auspicious beasts would appear outside. They all felt that the 3-eyed golden creature had misperceived it because they wanted to take the opportunity to go out and play. They knew it was too dangerous outside, so they didn't agree. Until just now, Yuena suddenly came out of the Lake of Life, confirming the 3-eyed genie's statement. Yuena nodded slightly. Look, I just said that I sensed a very powerful auspicious beast, and you still didn't believe me. You even said that I just wanted to go out for fun. HMPH, the 3-eyed golden tiger raised a front paw, pointed at Dishan, and said aggrievedly and angrily. In the entire Star Dao Forest, and even the entire Douluo continent, apart from Yuena, the only one who dared to point at Don and speak like this was the 3-eyed golden raider. But the 3-eyed golden beast said he wanted to go out. Firstly, it was to find the auspicious beast and bring it back to heal Yuena. Secondly, it was also to take the opportunity to go out and play. But now the 3-eyed golden tiger dare not say it, because the only person who can cure it, oh, no, is the beast. Yuena is here. If it said it clearly, Yuena would definitely punish it. This, although Dishan knew that the 3-eyed genie also wanted to go out and play. He was speechless now because he did not dare to offend the 3-eyed genie. Ha ha ha, seeing Don's helpless look, the other 6 ferocious beasts couldn't help laughing. The auspicious beast outside is not an ordinary auspicious beast. His aura is very similar to that of the dragon god, but it is more powerful than the aura of the divine dragon. It is very likely that he is a god of soul beasts that is more powerful than the dragon god. Yuena opened the mouth and said, "What? More powerful than Lord Dragon God?" The 7 ferocious beasts of Emperor Yan and the 3-eyed golden beast were all shocked and unbelievable when they heard Yuena's words. Because in their knowledge, the dragon god is the strongest god of soul beasts. Now Yuena suddenly said that there is a soul beast god who is more powerful than the dragon god, and they couldn't accept it at the first time. "My lord, are you sure you are not wrong?" Dishan confirmed to Yuena, and the other 6 ferocious beasts and the 3-eyed golden beast also looked at Yuena. "Ah, and I have already sensed the specific location of the Lord Soul Beast God." Yuena nodded affirmatively, believing that she was right. "Sister Yuena, if that's the case, let's all go out quickly and look for the god of soul beasts together. As long as you find him, not only can he heal your injuries for you, but also it is possible that under his leadership, not only can you regain control of the Douluo continent, but you may even be able to return to the god realm and avenge Lord Dragon God." The 3-eyed Jinni excitedly suggested to Yuena that in the entire Star Dao forest, there was only one 3-eyed Jinni who could call Yuena her sister. The 3-eyed Jinni thought that if Yuena could let everyone go out to find the god of soul beasts, then they would never let him stay here alone, so that he could go out and play with him. The 7 ferocious beasts of Emperor Yan also looked at Yuena excitedly, and they had the same idea. "No, I can't confirm the identity of the soul beast god right now. I don't know if he is our friend or our enemy. It's very possible that he is a bait sent by the gods in the god realm to lure us out so that we can all be caught in one fell swoop," Yuena said worriedly. She knew that those people in the god realm were very despicable, and her worries were not impossible. Well, the Lord's worry is not unreasonable. Those people in the god realm will indeed do such things. The 7 ferocious beasts of Emperor Yan and the 3-eyed golden beast nodded one after another. "Lord, what are we going to do?" Dishan asked Yuena for instructions. "You men are too big, have too explosive tempers, and are too easily exposed when you go out. The best choice now is for me to take Biji and Ziji to go out together to find the god of soul beasts. If the soul beast god's current cultivation level should not exceed the 10-year level, if he is our enemy, the 3 of us are capable of escaping immediately. If he is our friend, we can also communicate with him better and ask for his help. So I decided to take Biji and Ziji out to find the god of soul beasts. As for you, you will all stay here to guard the Star Dao forest. Do you understand?" Yuena ordered sternly, her words full of majesty, making it impossible for people to resist. Yuena knew that Dishan and the others would be worried about her safety. So she explained it in advance. "Yes, my lord." After listening to Yuena's words, the 7 ferocious beasts of Emperor Yan replied respectfully. "Sister Yuena, I want to go out too. Can you just let me go out with you, Sister Biji and Sister Ziji? Otherwise, if you all go out and I'm the only one left here, I'll be bored to death." The 3-eyed golden beast immediately asked Yuena. "No, your majesty, you can't go out. Your safety is related to the fate of our Star Dao forest. If something happens to you, our Star Dao forest will also suffer, and you are very playful. It is very likely that you will expose the Lord and them." Before Yuena could answer, Dishan scolded her harshly. "Why are you so mean? I didn't ask you, okay? I'll ask Sister Yuena again." Hearing Dian's scolding, the 3-eyed golden beast fearlessly retorted without giving Dian any face. Dishan didn't dare to say anything, so he stood back dejectedly. "Sister Yuena, I promise to listen to you, Sister Biji and Sister Ziji, and I promise not to mess around. Just take me there, please." The 3-eyed golden man begged Yuena very sincerely, and at the same time, he kept gently rubbing his head against Yuena's jade hand, looking pitiful and anxious. In the entire Star Dao forest, the only one who dared and was able to touch Yuena was the 3-eyed golden beast. It is good. Seeing the pitiful look of the 3-eyed Jinni, Yuena felt soft for a moment and agreed with a smile. "Yes, Sister Yuena is the best." Hearing Yuena agreed, the 3-eyed golden tiger jumped up and down happily. "But you have to remember what you said. If you dare to disobey us and act recklessly, I will ask Ziji to send you to the meeting immediately, and then lock you up so that you can never step out of here again. One step, do you remember it?" Seeing the 3-eyed Jinni's proud look, Yuena warned the 3-eyed Jinni sternly. "Yes, Sister Yuena, I remember." The 3-eyed golden man nodded seriously. Ugh, Dian sighed helplessly. Even Yuena agreed. What else could he say? "Biji, Ziji, you must protect the Lord and the King. Do you understand?" Dishan asked BG and ZG. Bridget nodded. Boss, don't worry, ZG patted her chest. Sister Yuena, let's set off quickly, otherwise the god of soul beasts is likely to leave the position we perceive, and it will be difficult to find him then, the three-eyed golden beast urged Yuena. Yuena nodded, then left with 2 people and 1 beast, no, 3 beasts. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 22. Your noodles are so delicious. This, isn't that good? High on the mountain, after hearing Long Xiaoyao's suggestion, Ah Yin lowered his head and whispered softly, not daring to look directly into Long Xiaoyao's eyes. Ah Yin's pretty face quickly turned red, like a ripe apple, looking mouth-watering. The distance between the pool at night and the place where Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin were was less than 50 meters, and there were no blocking flowers or trees in the middle. Although it was dusk now, it was still clearly visible. Although Ah Yin knew that Long Xiaoyao was doing it for her own good, that Long Xiaoyao was an auspicious beast, and that he was handsome, no, very handsome. But Ah Yin and Long Xiaoyao haven't confirmed their relationship yet. Ah Yin has never bathed in front of a man, no, a male beast, and she suddenly became shy. Not good. Did Ah Yin think I would take the opportunity to peek at her taking a shower? Hearing Ah Yin's timid words, Long Xiaoyao smiled. Don't you know how? Hearing Long Xiaoyao's thoughts, Ah Yin puffed up her cheeks. She didn't believe that Long Xiaoyao wouldn't take the opportunity to take a peek. After all, she was very confident in her appearance and figure, and based on her interactions with Long Xiaoyao today, she knew that Long Xiaoyao was not a person who was attracted by lust, but he was definitely not a lewd person either. Boom. Just when Ah Yin felt shy and dared not look directly at Long Xiaoyao, Long Xiaoyao had already taken out a beautiful, modern high-tech 2-story small house from the space ring and left it aside. This small house was a reward that Long Xiaoyao received more than 4 years ago. Although it only covers an area of 20 x 30 meters, it has all kinds of modern facilities and a smart owl housekeeper, which greatly solved Long Xiaoyao's accommodation during his travels question. This is also the reason why Long Xiaoyao didn't accept the overnight stay from the villagers in the previous village, even though he saw it was getting dark just now. As soon as the small villa landed, the smart owl housekeeper controlled the water supply system, stretched out a water pipe into the pool, and began to absorb the water in the pool. This is a house. Hearing the sound, Ah Yin looked for her voice and found that a small house appeared, and it was a very beautiful small house. She was very shocked. I asked you to take a bath in the bathroom in the house instead of taking a bath in the pool. I will bathe you outside. I can't see you taking a bath. What's wrong with that? Long Xiaoyao asked Ah Yin with a smile. Cyrillic lettered X. Ah Yin was so angry that her cheeks bulged up. Only then did she realize that Long Xiaoyao had played a trick on her. Now she felt both angry and shy. Okay, don't be angry. You must have been sweating all over and feeling very uncomfortable. You come in with me. I'll take you to the bathroom and teach you how to use it. After you take a shower, I should make some noodles. Long Xiaoyao smiled and persuaded Ah Yin. Ah Yin nodded. She was always kind and gentle, and rarely got angry. She also knew that Long Xiaoyao was doing it for her own good, so she would not be angry with Long Xiaoyao. And she does feel sticky and uncomfortable now, and she really needs to take a good bath. Immediately afterwards, Long Xiaoyao took Ah Yin into the small house. After telling Ah Yin how to use it, Long Xiaoyao walked out alone and began to boil the water. Half an hour later, the sun had completely set and the moon was already high in the sky. Finished, Long Xiaoyao finally cooked 2 large bowls of noodles, put in the condiments, and sprinkled them with a carefully prepared green pepper and shredded pork sauce, and placed them on the prepared table. Smell good. As soon as Ah Yin walked out of the small house, she smelled the fragrance and couldn't help but exclaim grunt. Ah Yin's stomach screamed, and the sound was a bit loud, which made Ah Yin a little shy, and her pretty face turned slightly red. So beautiful. Long Xiaoyao looked back and saw that Ah Yin was now wearing a white, slightly wet pajamas dress. Under the reflection of the moonlight, Ah Yin's perfect and bumpy figure was vividly displayed. Coupled with Ah Yin's beautiful face and noble temperament, she looked extraordinarily sexy and charming, so charming that Long Xiaoyao was dumbfounded. Hearing Long Xiaoyao's heartfelt praise and being really hungry, Ah Yin directly picked up her pajamas and trotted towards the chair opposite Long Xiaoyao. Ah Yin's pajama dress and her slightly wet long blue hair danced in the wind, making Ah Yin look even more sexy. Nest grass. Looking at Ah Yin, Long Xiaoyao found that the words beautiful as a fairy and overwhelming could no longer describe the current Ah Yin. He, who was not good at Chinese, could only express his current feelings with Wakao. Weed? What kind of plant is that? Hearing Long Xiaoyao's sigh, Ah Yin was very curious because she remembered that Long Xiaoyao also used this plant to describe Tang Hao and Tang Xiao. Golem, but Ah Yin had no time to care about this now. She had already walked to the table and looked at the large bowl of delicious noodles that Long Xiaoyao had just prepared for her. Smelling the fragrance of the noodles, she couldn't help but swallow a big mouthful of saliva. She just wants to eat it quickly now. Long Xiaoyao, can I eat it? Ah Yin's eyes shone brightly and she asked Long Xiaoyao with great anticipation. Well, let's eat. Long Xiaoyao came back to his senses and nodded with a smile. Ah Yin couldn't wait to walk to the chair, stirred the condiments and sesame seeds, and then picked up some. Call. Ah Yin was relatively reserved at first. First she pushed her hair back, blew on it twice, and then slowly put it into her mouth. Chili. The moment the noodles entered Ah Yin's mouth and touched Ah Yin's tongue, a taste that he had never tasted before instantly bloomed on Ah Yin's taste buds, making Ah Yin's eyes suddenly light up and she couldn't help but pick it up. He sucked all the noodles into his mouth in one breath. The noodles directly propped up both sides of Ah Yin's cheeks, making her look extremely cute. Ah Yin didn't care so much and just chewed and tasted it, showing a very happy and excited expression. Ah Yin looks so cute, it looks a bit like a little squirrel with a mouthful of food. Ha ha ha. Seeing Ah Yin's look, Long Xiaoyao couldn't help but laugh. You are like a hamster. Do not. Like a weasel. Hey. Hearing Long Xiaoyao's thoughts, Ah Yin was not angry, but a little happy. She also liked hamsters. Golem, Long Xiaoyao, your noodles are so delicious. After swallowing it in one gulp, Ah Yin couldn't help but praise it sincerely. Chili. Immediately afterwards, Ah Yin didn't care about her ladylike image, because the noodles were so delicious. It was the first time she had eaten such delicious noodles. And she was very hungry now. And she knew that Long Xiaoyao didn't hate the way she ate, and even liked it very much, so she simply continued to eat. Then I'll feed you more often in the future, okay? Long Xiaoyao asked Ah Yin with a smile. Okay. Hearing Long Xiaoyao's question, Ah Yin nodded heavily while eating noodles, looking extremely cute. Long Xiaoyao also picked up the noodles and started to eat them. He was also very hungry. In less than 10 minutes, Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin both finished a large bowl of noodles. Then Ah Yin was like a curious baby, chasing Long Xiaoyao asking questions, but the most asked questions were about the following and medical knowledge. Long Xiaoyao also patiently told Ah Yin that there was a golden house in the book. The book has its own beauty. Later, Long Xiaoyao also took out a series of books such as Chinese Cuisine Encyclopedia, Internal Medicine, Surgery, Compendium of Materia Medica and so on, and gave them to Ah Yin. After that, Long Xiaoyao asked Ah Yin to sleep on the second floor of the small house, while he slept in the master bedroom on the first floor. However, Ah Yin did not sleep immediately, but read the book Long Xiaoyao gave her with great interest. The next day, Long Xiaoyao took Ah Yin to the next village to treat the villagers. After 5 days of hard work, Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin successfully cured all the villagers in the area who had the flu, and received the gratitude of all the villagers. As a result, Long Xiaoyao gained 5,000 million medical points, exchanged them for 3 sold Douluo pills, directly upgraded his level to level 85, and also received many useful rewards. Ah Yin also learned a lot of useful knowledge. The most important thing was that he cured all the villagers infected with influenza. He was very happy. Moreover, with the help of Long Xiaoyao, Ah Yin's level was also raised to level 56. After solving the flu problem, Long Xiaoyao took Ah Yin to play and treat the sick or injured people they encountered to earn medical points, while waiting for the people from the Haotian sect to come and give them away. Chapter 23, Her Royal Highness the Saint appears, who'll speak again? Half a month later, at the entrance to the killing city, a woman wearing a purple and gold tights, black stockings, and purple high heels slowly walked out of the killing city. The woman has light purple-brown hair that hangs slightly curved on her shoulders. She has a delicate face with oval seeds, and her skin is delicate, white and smooth, as if it were white jade. Although the woman is not very tall, she has slender legs, a curvy figure, excellent clothes, and a steady catwalk, making every step look particularly sexy and charming. The woman's body exudes a blood-red aura, and her charming pair of phoenix eyes are also red. She looks beautiful and charming but also a bit enchanting, which makes people feel fearful and only dares to look at it from a distance. Play with it. She is the saint of Wuhun Palace, Bibi Dong. Your Highness the Saint, congratulations on your successful mastery of the God of Killing domain. Just when Bibi Dong walked out of the killing city, a tall man in black came to Bibi Dong like a ghost and congratulated Bibi Dong concisely. The man in black is the titled Douluo of Wuhun Palace, Guima. Your Highness the Saint, you passed the test so quickly and mastered the realm of the God of Death. You must be so awesome. The Pope would be very happy if he knew that you really came out of the killing city so quickly. The next moment, a very coquettish-looking man in a bright red dress came to Bibi Dong and said to Bibi Dong with a smile. His movements were very charming, even more charming than a woman's smile. If it weren't for the large Adam's apple on his neck, no one would be able to tell that he was a man. The man in red is none other than Yuguan, the titled Douluo of Wuhun Palace. See Her Royal Highness. Immediately afterwards, 20 people wearing black robes and hats appeared behind Guima and Yuguan, respectfully calling Bibi Dong Dao. Elder Ghost? Elder Yu? Why are you here? Bibi Dong just glanced at Yuguan and the 20 men in black robes, then turned to the ghosts and asked curiously. Your Majesty the Holy Virgin, His Majesty the Pope asked us to come. Guima replied briefly and concisely, then stood there and said nothing more. Your Highness the Saint, please ignore the old ghost. He doesn't like to talk. Let me do the talking. It has been almost 2 years since you entered the land of killing. His Majesty the Pope feels that you should be able to come out of the land of killing by then. The people of the Xiaoyao sect have been moving a lot recently. I heard that even the Great Elder has been dispatched. The destination seems to be the killing city, but I don't know what their purpose is. Originally, His Majesty the Pope planned to pick you up in person, but His Majesty the Pope has many important things to deal with, and he really can't get away. For the sake of your safety, I sent the old ghost and I to wait here more than 10 days ago as you, Yuguan then said with a smile. When Bibi Dong heard Guima and Yuguan's words, the corners of her mouth raised slightly, revealing a charming smile. Master really cares about me the most. Rather than what the people of the Xiaoyao sect wanted to do, Bibi Dong was more happy with Jin Zunji's concern for her. Master, how is he doing recently? Bibi Dong asked. His Majesty the Pope has been doing very well recently. He was promoted from level 94 to level 95 3 months ago. His Majesty the Pope is very happy about this. If His Majesty the Pope knew that Your Highness the Saint has come out now and has mastered the realm of the God of Death, he would definitely be even happier. As soon as Bibi Dong finished speaking, Yuguan raised her orchid fingers and replied with a smile. Really? Master has been promoted to level 95, Bibi Dong smiled, truly happy for Jin Zunji. For Bibi Dong, Jin Zunji is now one of her most important people. Because without Jin Zunji, she wouldn't be where she is now. Another one is Yu Xiaoyao. He is the wisest person Bibi Dong has ever met. The reason why Bibi Dong is able to achieve his current achievements is also thanks to Yu Xiaoyao's deep understanding of martial arts. What Bibi Dong wants to do most now is to go back quickly and let Jin Zunji see that she has mastered the realm of the God of Death. She wants to see Jin Zunji happy. She even wanted to make Yu Xiaoyao extremely happy after seeing her now. Let's go back quickly, Bibi Dong said with a smile, and then walked directly towards the Wuhun Palace. Yes, Guima and Yuguan followed closely behind Bibi Dong and walked towards the Spirit Hall, outside the killing city, on the outskirts of a small town, on a beautiful road. Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin were taking a leisurely walk on the road together, chatting and enjoying the scenery along the way. But 25 people suddenly jumped out, blocking Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin's escape route. 20 of them were people wearing Xiaoyao sect costumes, obviously members of the Xiaoyao sect. The other 5 people are members of the Min clan under the Xiaoyao sect. Didn't Tang Hao and Tang Xiao say that the woman was a 10-year-old soul beast? Why can't I detect the spirit beast's aura from her body? The leader of the Xiaoyao sect, the Grand Elder, and the 6th Elder and 7th Elder beside the Grand Elder stared at Ah Yin, but they could not see that Ah Yin had the aura of a soul beast at all, which puzzled them. Because they knew that it was impossible for Tang Hao and Tang Xiao to lie to them. After all, Tang Hao and Tang Xiao were so seriously injured, and each of them lost an arm. Haoshan sect did not hesitate to dispatch the Great Elder, 6th Elder and 7th Elder just to catch these two young men. The people of the Min clan looked at Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin. Not only could they not see that Ah Yin was a 10-year-old soul beast, but they also couldn't see how powerful Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin were. They couldn't understand why the Haoshan sect was fighting for Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin. Silver, dispatching such a large battle. In order not to publicize the appearance of the 10-year-old soul beast, currently only the senior officials of the Haoshan sect know about it. Even the leader of the Min clan, who was called to look for the traces of Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin, does not know. Ah Yin felt that the Great Elder seemed to be a powerful titled Douluo, and there were many people there, and he was being stared at by everyone, so she suddenly became a little nervous. Ah Yin started to panic a little. She could feel that the people surrounding her and Long Xiaoyao were all soul masters at least above the soul saint level, and many of them were soul Douluo. She was worried that it would be like the last time she fought against Tang Hao and Tang Xiao. It will drag Long Xiaoyao back. Unexpectedly, the Haoshan sect actually sent so many people to give away their heads. It just so happened that my sword was already thirsty. So I just used them to quench my thirst. Why are you three disrespectful old guys staring at my Ah Yin? Believe it or not, I will dig out your eyes. Long Xiaoyao stood in front of Ah Yin, staring at the Great Elder, 6th Elder and 7th Elder, showing an evil smile. Lord Ruju. Hearing Long Xiaoyao's heartfelt words, especially the words my Ah Yin felt particularly happy, showing a bright smile, and no longer felt nervous. What did you say? When the 6th Elder and the 7th Elder heard what Long Xiaoyao said, they were immediately furious and wanted to teach Long Xiaoyao a lesson, but they were stopped by the Great Elder. Hand over that woman and we can give you a quick death. The Great Elder stared at Long Xiaoyao and said calmly, not to be angry but to be proud. It's impossible. If you want to catch Ah Yin, you have to step over my body, Long Xiaoyao said domineeringly without any fear. Ah Yin was extremely moved when he heard Long Xiaoyao's words. All soul saints, catch that woman, I want to live. All contras, follow me and kill that man, the Great Elder ordered. The dignified Haoshan sect, the #1 sect in the Soul Master world, actually has so many people besieging two young men. How shameless. As soon as the Great Elder finished speaking, an ethereal and melodious voice sounded, without anger or authority. Everyone looked for a voice and saw Bibi Dong leading the way, followed closely by Gui Mei and Yu Guan. Behind him were 20 men in black robes, walking over from one side in a hurry. What a beautiful woman. Compared with Ah Yin's appearance, he is not inferior at all, even in terms of sexiness, she is slightly better than Ah Yin. Long Xiaoyao was instantly attracted to Bibi Dong. Looking at the extremely sexy Bibi Dong, he was very sure that she was the sexiest woman he had ever seen. But Long Xiaoyao didn't recognize Bibi Dong. Is she that sexy? Hearing Long Xiaoyao's inner voice, Ah Yin puffed up her cheeks with soreness, and trained Long Xiaoyao's eyes to look at Bibi Dong. Who is speaking? Who is Ah Yin? Listening to the sudden voice in her head, Bibi Dong had a question mark on her face. Chapter 24 The Domineering Bibi Dong. Am I hallucinating? Bibi Dong looked around and couldn't tell who was speaking in her mind. She thought it was caused by auditory hallucinations due to the influence of the god of killing realm. What a handsome man. He's actually more handsome than the teacher. Although Bibi Dong didn't notice who was speaking in her mind, her eyes were immediately attracted by Long Xiaoyao, and she was even fascinated by it. Originally, Bibi Dong thought Jin Zunji was the most handsome man she had ever seen, but she found that Long Xiaoyao was dozens of times more handsome than Jin Zunji. She found that Long Xiaoyao was like a banished immortal who came out of a painting. There was no comparison between Jin Zunji and Long Xiaoyao. Yu Xiaogang is even more incomparable. He is looking at me too. Bibi Dong found that Long Xiaoyao was also looking at her. Not only did he not feel uncomfortable at all, he was even a little shy. A rare blush appeared on his pretty face. You know, Bibi Dong has never blushed shyly even in front of Yu Xiaogang. What a nice view, what a sexy woman. The moment Ah Yin saw Bibi Dong, even though she was a woman and a female soul beast, she felt that Bibi Dong was too beautiful and sexy. Bibi Dong's bold outfit, especially the long black stockings that bound her legs, was so sexy and charming that Ah Yin couldn't help but take a second look at Bibi Dong. It seems a little sexier than me. Just a little bit. Ah Yin looked at her own jade legs, and then at Bibi Dong's jade legs covered in black stockings, and found that they were indeed not as sexy as Bibi Dong. If I dress as revealingly as this woman and put on stockings, I will definitely be sexier than her. Looking at Bibi Dong, Ah Yin felt that she was not as sexy as Bibi Dong, but she was defeated by her outfit, especially stockings. She felt that if she wore the same clothes as Bibi Dong, she would definitely not lose to Bibi Dong. What am I thinking? When she came back to her senses, Ah Yin was a little ashamed, because she didn't know when she would compare herself with other women. She didn't care about this at all before. But when Ah Yin saw Xiaoyao looking at Bibi Dong all the time, she felt a little sour and really wanted to try wearing the same clothes as Bibi Dong. The saint of Wuhun Temple, it should have been less than 2 years since you entered the city of killing, yet you have mastered the realm of the god of killing so quickly and come out of the city of killing. The great elder was shocked when he saw Bibi Dong, who had not yet fully mastered the realm of the god of death, with blood-red aura all over his body and red eyes. What? The members of the Xiao sect and the Min clan all looked at Bibi Dong in shock, and were extremely shocked to find out that Bibi Dong had indeed mastered the god of killing domain. Because all of them know that Tang is the most talented and powerful disciple of the Xiao sect in recent years. It took him nearly 4 years to return from the killing city to master the killing god realm. Now Bibi Dong has come out in less than 2 years, which means that Bibi Dong's current talent and strength are better than Tang back then. Wuhun Palace and Xiao sect are in a hostile relationship, and now it is discovered that Bibi Dong's talent is better than Tang. This is definitely not good news for Xiao sect and its affiliated sects. Especially the Great Elder. The 6th Elder and the 7th Elder know that Tang and Tang Xiao also lost an arm to Xiaoyao, and they are still recovering from their injuries. Even if they recover, their future cultivation speed will definitely not be able to keep up with Bibi Dong's, and even some it may not be possible to cultivate to title Douluo. The gap can't be seen now. The Xiao sect is still just as famous as the Wuhun Palace, but in the near future, the Xiao sect will definitely be overtaken by the Wuhun Palace. Of course, Her Royal Highness the Saint is the most talented and powerful genius in the history of our Wuhun Hall. Yuguan raised her orchid fingers and said to the Great Elder with a smile, Saint of Wuhun Palace, this woman is Bibi Dong. After hearing what the Great Elder and Yuguan said, Xiaoyao looked at Bibi Dong carefully and found that Bibi Dong's appearance, figure and hair were very similar to Bibi Dong in the anime. However, because Bibi Dong was still a saint of Wuhun Hall, she did not wear the Pope's exclusive dress, wear the Pope's exclusive crown, and did not hold the Pope's exclusive scepter. Moreover, Bibi Dong has not yet experienced a purgatory-like experience, has not been invaded by hatred, and has not become darkened. So compared to the one in the anime, the current Bibi Dong is a little less mature and domineering, and not too oppressive, but a little more sexy, lively, and even cute. However, Bibi Dong's figure is no worse than that of the anime. It is perfect, concave and convex, and charming. Looking at Bibi Dong, Xiaoyao had only one thought in his mind, damn Shrek, long live His Majesty the Pope. Oh no, now Bibi Dong is not His Majesty the Pope, but His Royal Highness the Saint, so Xiaoyao's current thoughts are, fuck Yang Sunji, get out of here, Uzaya Gang, long live Her Royal Highness the Saint. It turns out to be Saint Bibi Dong from Wuhun Palace. She is indeed as sexy and beautiful as the legend says. Ah Yin also determined Bibi Dong's identity based on the words of the Great Elder and Yuguan, as well as Xiaoyao's inner voice. Could it be that the voice in my head is the voice of that young master? Bibi Dong looked into Xiaoyao's eyes. Although she was very shocked, her sixth sense told her that the voice in her head was Xiaoyao's voice, which made her very confused. Humph, these two guys injured our Xiao sect disciples. We are arresting them. They have nothing to do with your Wuhun Palace. I advise you to leave quickly and mind your own business, the Great Elder snorted coldly and warned Bibi Dong and the others sternly. Oh, which disciple of your Xiao sect did they injure? So that the leader of the Xiao sect did not hesitate to send you 3 elders and a dozen strong men above Soul Saint. Facing the Great Elder of the Xiao sect, Bibi Dong showed no fear at all. She raised the corners of her mouth slightly and asked the Great Elder with a smile. For Wuhun Palace, Xiao sect is one of the biggest obstacles to their unification of Douluo continent. Since Xiaoyao and Ah Yin injured Xiao sect's disciples and asked Xiao sect to dispatch so many strong men, even the Great Elder, a title Douluo, it shows that Xiaoyao and Ah Yin are powerful. Definitely not ordinary. No matter which faction Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin were from, they were definitely friends of Wuhun Palace. Bibi Dong felt that Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin should not be able to defeat these Haoshan sect people, nor could they escape from these people. So Bibi Dong plans to save Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin. If Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin belong to any force, Bibi Dong can let that force a Wuhun Palace in her favor. In the future, we can win over Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin, and win over their forces. It would be better if Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin did not belong to any force. Bibi Dong could invite Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin to join Wuhun Hall and be used by Wuhun Hall and her. Bibi Dong didn't plan to save Long Xiaoyao because of Long Xiaoyao's handsome appearance. You don't have to worry about it now, just leave now, the Great Elder warned sternly. What if I have to take care of it? Bibi Dong's face didn't change and she still asked with a smile. Are you trying to provoke a battle between Wuhun Palace and our Haoshan sect? The Great Elder took a step forward, stared into Bibi Dong's eyes, and asked Bibi Dong word by word. He also released the pressure of the title Douluo, and his momentum was overwhelming. Bold, seeing the Great Elder releasing pressure on Bibi Dong, Gui Mei and Yu Guan planned to step forward to defend Bibi Dong. After all, Bibi Dong was still only a level 69 Soul Emperor, but they were stopped by Bibi Dong. Then it depends on whether you want to provoke a war between Haoshan sect and our Spirit Hall. Bibi Dong faced the pressure of the Great Elder, released a Killing God domain, and took a step forward. Still staring at the Great Elder without changing his expression, she asked with a smile. Her aura was unaffected by the pressure of the Great Elder. Looking at Bibi Dong, the Great Elder hesitated because he did not dare to say launching a war. Although Haoshan sect is as famous as Wuhun Palace, he knows that Wuhun Palace has more soul masters and top combat power than Haoshan sect. Starting a war with Wuhun Palace is definitely not a good choice. I didn't expect Bibi Dong to be so domineering at such a young age. She is indeed the saint of Wuhun Palace. I want to see if this old guy dares to start a war with Wuhun Palace. Looking at Bibi Dong, Long Xiaoyao was a little surprised. He didn't expect Bibi Dong to be so domineering when he was young. That's natural. Hearing Long Xiaoyao's voice, Bibi Dong showed a confident smile. She was now, percent sure that the voice in her mind seemed to be Long Xiaoyao's voice. Chapter 25 Hermaphrodite, the Haoshan sect that confuses right and wrong. Bibi Dong is indeed very domineering. Even when facing a title Douluo, he is not afraid at all. Hearing Long Xiaoyao's thoughts, Ah Yin also agreed. She found that Bibi Dong and others seemed to want to help her and Long Xiaoyao, and the three title Douluo present did not seem to realize that she was a 10-year-old soul beast, and she was immediately relieved. A lot. If Bibi Dong wants to help us, he must be interested in Long Xiaoyao. After relaxing, Ah Yin remembered that when Bibi Dong looked at Long Xiaoyao just now, it seemed to be the same as when she saw Long Xiaoyao for the first time. She suddenly felt something bad and looked at Bibi Dong warily, comparing Bibi Dong more. Somewhat alert. Is this woman Ah Yin? What a beautiful woman. Bibi Dong also noticed Ah Yin and was attracted by Ah Yin's beauty and noble and elegant temperament. She felt that this was the Ah Yin that Long Xiaoyao had in mind. But why is she staring at me like this? This must be the first time we meet. Bibi Dong felt a hint of hostility in Ah Yin's eyes, which made her very confused. Bibi Dong, is it worth it to start a war between Wuhun Palace and our Haoshan sect for the sake of two strangers we have never met before? I advise you to leave and stop meddling in other people's business, the Great Elder persuaded Bibi Dong earnestly, but he still did not dare to break up with Bibi Dong or declare war on behalf of Haoshan sect with Wuhun Palace unless it was absolutely necessary. Cut. This old guy who bullies the weak and fears the strong has the nerve to be called the Haoshan sect, also known as the #1 sect in the Soul Master world. I think it's better to change the name to the Fearing Heaven sect in the future. Long Xiaoyao despised the Great Elder's words. Because he knew that if Bibi Dong was not a saint of Wuhun Hall, the Great Elder would have taken action long ago, and even killed Bibi Dong and others with him. That's right. Hearing Long Xiaoyao's thoughts, Ah Yin and Bibi Dong agreed with each other. I just can't stand the way your Haoshan sect uses the more to bully the less, and the strong to bully the weak. I'm still taking care of today's business. I saved both of them, you can't take them away today. I said so, Bibi Dong said to the Great Elder domineeringly. Hearing Bibi Dong's words, the Great Elder was extremely angry. He clenched his fists and gritted his teeth, but he did not dare to give the order to take action. because Tang Hao and Tang Xiao told the senior officials of the Haotian sect that Long Xiaoyao's strength could not be suppressed even by tidal Douluo. It would most likely require 2 tidal Douluo, or a peak Douluo above level 96 to be able to suppress it. But with Tang Chen's disappearance, the Haotian sect now only has 2 tidal Douluo, one is the leader of the Haotian sect, and the other is the Great Elder. However, it is impossible for the Haotian sect to send out the sect leader and the Great Elder, because that will definitely attract the attention of other major sects, especially the Wuhun Palace. It is not certain who will catch Ah Yin by then. So Haotian sect secretly sent the Grand Elder, 6th Elder and 7th Elder. Their original plan was for the Grand Elder to lead the Soul Douluo to suppress Long Xiaoyao, while the other Soul Saints captured Ah Yin. Then use Ah Yin to threaten Long Xiaoyao, kill Long Xiaoyao, and bring Ah Yin back to Haotian sect. But he never expected to meet Bibi Dong, and there were also 2 tidal Douluo Yuena and Yuguan, as well as 20 Soul Masters above Soul Saint. With the addition of Long Xiaoyao, whose strength is comparable to that of a tidal Douluo, the Great Elder really does not dare to take action easily, otherwise it is very likely that they will be defeated miserably, and even none of them may be able to return. Little brother, little girl, you can tell us who in the Haotian sect you injured, so that the Haotian sect did not hesitate to send 3 elders and more than 20 strong men above the Soul Saint to arrest you guys. Yuguan raised her orchid finger, raised the corners of her mouth slightly, showed a sweet smile, and asked Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin with a smile, could this guy be a hermaphrodite? Looking at Yuguan, who behaved very much like the eunuch in the palace drama, Long Xiaoyao seriously doubted whether Yuguan was like Lai Fu and Xingai's 9th grade sesame official. When he was a child, his family was too poor and he was rejected. He planned to go to the palace, work as a eunuch inside. Later, he awakened the Kirin Tongshan Chrysanthemum martial spirit, was trained by the martial spirit hall, and cultivated to the level of a tidal Douluo, so he became what he is now. It is indeed possible. Hearing Long Xiaoyao's thoughts, Ah Yin and Bibi Dong glanced at Yuguan, agreed very much, and felt that it was possible. In other words, I injured Tang Hao and Tang Xiao and took off one of their arms, who let these 2 brothers covet my Ah Yin's beauty and want to take my Ah Yin back to Haotian sect. Long Xiaoyao spread his hands and said calmly, as if he had done an insignificant thing. What Long Xiaoyao said was absolutely correct, but he did not say that Ah Yin was a 10-year-old soul beast. He believed that there was a 90% chance that the Great Elder would not tell it. Because the situation now is very clear, it will be difficult for the Great Elder and the others to capture Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin. If the story about Ah Yin being a 10-year-old soul beast is revealed, it will only cause the people in the Wuhan Palace to seize Ah Yin with all their strength and obtain the 10-year-old spirit ring and soul bones. To the Haotian sect, definitely not a good thing. And even if the Great Elder revealed that Ah Yin was a 10-year-old soul beast, Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin were not afraid, because they had already thought of a way to deal with it and could definitely hide Ah Yin's identity perfectly. Ah Yin was extremely happy when she heard Long Xiaoyao's words, especially the 2 words my Ah Yin in a row, showing a sweet and charming smile. What, how, except for the Great Elder, the 6th Elder and the 7th Elder, everyone was extremely shocked. They knew that Tang Hao and Tang Xiao were as powerful as tidal Douluo, but Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin actually injured the 2 brothers. They had no idea how powerful Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin were. However, Bibi Dong, Yuena, Yuguan, the Soul Saints of Wuhan Palace and the powerful Soul Douluo all believed in what Long Xiaoyao said. After all, Ah Yin's appearance was there, and the Haotian sect had sent so many people to arrest her. Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin. We must rescue them and drag them 2 into the spirit hall. Bibi Dong looked at Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin, and became more determined to win over Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin. Bibi Dong is not stupid. With such strength, if he doesn't draw Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin into the spirit hall as soon as possible for his own use, otherwise it will be too late in the future. It's not because of Long Xiaoyao's good looks. You fart, that girl, the 6th Elder had a bad temper. When he heard Long Xiaoyao's words, he suddenly got angry. Just as he was about to say something, he was stopped by the Great Elder. Because the 1st Elder knew that the 6th Elder would speak freely when he was in a rage, he would definitely say that Ah Yin was a 10-year-old soul beast. Although the Great Elder didn't know what method Ah Yin used to hide the soul beast's aura, even he, a tidal Douluo, could tell. But now it seems that it is not a bad thing, otherwise Ah Yin will probably be caught by Wuhan Palace. You're talking nonsense. Master and Tang Xiao can't be that kind of people. It was clearly because you attacked them sneakily in order to fight for the soul beast stay disabled, and that's why you injured them. The leader of the Min clan immediately said angrily that he believed in the character of Tang Hao and Tang Xiao. And this is what the senior officials of Haoshan sect said. In order not to expose the purpose of the actions of the Great Elder, Sixth Elder and Seventh Elder, the senior officials of Haoshan sect told the disciples and affiliated sects of Haoshan sect that Tang Hao and Tang Xiao were in when hunting the soul beast. He was injured by Long Xiaoyao and Ah Yin in a sneak attack. That's right, it was obviously you who injured Tang Hao and Tang Xiao in order to snatch the soul beast. You are so abominable, we will not allow you to slander our Haoshan twin stars. People from the Haoshan sect and other people from the Min clan also spoke angrily. When Bibi Dong and others heard what the Haoshan sect, the Min clan and others said, it was indeed possible. After all, it was very common for soul masters to launch sneak attacks in order to snatch soul beasts. Amazing, he actually turned the black propaganda into white. Looking at the roaring crowd, Long Xiaoyao was a little surprised. That's right, Haoshan sect is really abominable. Hearing Long Xiaoyao's thoughts, Ah Yin agreed very much. It seems that the facts should be the same as what this young man said. Hearing Long Xiaoyao's inner voice, Bibi Dong chose to believe Long Xiaoyao's words. After all, she had seen a lot of things like this that confuse right and wrong in order to gain a reputation as a teacher. End of this chapter. Thank you so much for reading until the end. Don't forget to give it a like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription or donation encourages us to continue. Thank you all. See you in the next video.